Well, it seems that our journey has finally come to an end. Looks like things point out to be true. Rainbow Dash did in fact kill 8 Swift. The blinding bolt just sprung him back a few feet. Second bolt was either a dud, or it never existed to begin with. It all makes sense now. Obviously. Well. Objection! Now let's go over some of the facts before we get into this episode now, shall we, people? Alright. Sorry if I blew out your eardrums. Okay. Now, let's get this started. From the facts that we got, we had 3 main suspects. That being Cruise Control, Sonata, and Lenora. Cruise Control is excused because he has a solid alibi. He was at the police station as he was reporting the crime, so he couldn't have done it. Lenora is apparently just all an innocent bystander in all this, as the mail carrier is in fact Gilda. So, those 2 are ruled out completely. But, hold it. We got Sonata. Sonata is the main culprit in all of this, mostly because she was seen by Fluttershy at the corner of her eye at the Everfree Forest far entrance with the stick that is apparently important to this case. What happened? Who knows? I have a few theories. But then we would be here forever now, wouldn't we? Well, I already gave out what I pretty much thought in my last reaction, and pretty much all that still stands, except a few things. 1. The second bolt. Now, we were told by Trixie a billion times that the second bolt is just a dud, never existed, blah blah blah. Well, since I don't like Trixie, I have to disbelieve her. That second bolt did in fact come out of that storm cloud. How? I don't know. But we're just going to figure that out now, shall we, people? And I hope you guys appreciate this. I learned how to tie a bow tie for you guys. So, shall we be getting started with these? Shall we? This is going to be the final of the MLP Phoenix Wright crossover, known as Turnabout Storm. Who will live? Who will die? Well, obviously, who already died. But what we are here now to figure out is one very important thing, and that is the truth. Now, 3, 2, 1, now. Let's get this started.
The court is now back in session.
Yes, it is.
Miss Trixie, were you able to gather this manager?
Yes, she is prepared. If you truly want this.
Okay.
I'd like to hear how she found this peculiar stick.
She had to have been in the forest. And that means she may have done it. But Trixie's right. She isn't a Pegasus. There's no way she could have manipulated that cloud.
Well, it wasn't the cloud at all, my friend.
Ooh! Have we met before? You look strangely familiar.
Name and occupation.
You're really going to attempt to pin this on me, right?
Ooh, flat out ignored.
As you know, I've been watching the whole time, and I'm not impressed.
Don't ignore
I
Trixie.
love the theme
State
that she
your
gives.
name and occupation for the record.
Please be quiet. The grown-ups are speaking.
Ooh,
You
word.
have no right sticking your nose in the law.
What?
Even to me, it's a mystery how you managed to put yourself on that bench.
How dare you?
It must really hurt that vanity of yours. Looking in the mirror every morning, seeing nothing but a washed-up charlatan with revenge as your only form of closure.
Sonata's not pulling any punches.
You! Does this pony have something against Trixie?
Yes, apparently.
Short answer, yes.
You see,
I already know.
I know everything there is to know about you, Trixie.
So what? That's actually kind of a flattering statement.
Oh, really now? Let's talk about poor little Trixie. Let's talk about how great and powerful you really are.
I thought we were in the middle of a session
Let's
and
talk
never
about
mind.
what you really desire. Because unlike everyone else, I know.
How did you...
I know what drives the real Trixie to do what she does. It has nothing to do with her last visit, as she's led many of you to believe. That was just the icing on the cake.
Okay.
The Trixie we see right now is nothing but a helpless phony taking on this egotistical persona
The
to
phony
cover up
pony.
her pitiful insecurities. Her real talent should be pretending.
I wonder what that Kingdom Work will look
Smoke
like.
and mirrors. That's all she is. And I'm not talking about her little magic show. As I said before, it's really pathetic.
Man.
Oh? Have you finally run out of arrogant lies?
Enough!
Thank you,
Witness,
Judge.
state your name and occupation for the record.
Sonata, former manager of the late Ace Swift. Now where was I? Oh yes, right. You were accusing me of being in that forest based off a vague testimony given by a vague witness.
Wow.
That witness says she
No
saw me
retort.
by the forest. I say I was in my hotel room all night. Now that brings me to you, Wright. I believe you broke into my hotel room with that pink pony.
Knew she
I
was gonna
wish to
throw
press
that out
charges
there.
against you both immediately. Here are some detailed photographs of both of their prints all around my room. I'm sure if you compare them, you'll get matching results.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Don't worry, Phoenix. That is completely irrelevant to the situation right now.
True?
I'll face the consequences of my actions later.
Exactly.
No.
Right now, this
right
is now.
now. You broke the law and I want justice.
Says the killer.
Just as Trixie stated earlier, it's an unrelated crime, just like Mr. Cruise Control's assault on me, and it shouldn't be brought up in the current case at hand.
Mr. Wright, I'm shocked you would do something like this.
But I didn't want to do it!
Tell you the truth, it
I
isn't the first
can't
time.
simply let actions like this go unpunished. What's the prosecution's stance on this matter?
Yeesh.
Doesn't look too hot.
Tell me about it.
Well, I suppose if there are no objections,
Yes,
Phoenix
not.
Wright and Pinkie Pie can face their charges in due time.
Yep.
Ha! Score one for the good guys.
Yeah.
Whatever. See if I care. This
You will.
outlandish accusation of yours is just going to fall flat on its face anyway.
Sonata, Fluttershy gave a perfect description of you carrying the stick near the forest on the night of the murder.
I'll say it again. I wasn't anywhere near the forest that night.
I've got to tie her into this somehow.
You can do it,
Your Honor,
Phoenix.
I'd like to hear what Sonata was doing that night in further detail.
Now that I've seen Miss Sonata's appearance, the previous witness's description does seem to match up. Miss Sonata, please testify as to what you were doing the night of the murder.
If I must.
Let me see if I can break this down before the actual competitors can.
I was settling in my hotel room after picking up some equipment for Ace.
Really?
He wasn't at the hotel, so I figured he was practicing for the race. I went to bed and was woken up at 12 a.m. by the police knocking at my hotel room door. The police had informed me of Ace's fate. That witness must be mistaken. I wasn't anywhere near the forest that night. And I certainly wasn't carrying that golf club to keep waving
Gotcha!
around.
Oh, immediately. Immediately you messed up.
Oh, so you were in your hotel room.
At least make this
when the murder
interesting for
occurred?
me. At least make this a little bit
That
of a
is correct,
challenge.
Your Honor. That witness must have been seen.
I'm sorry,
because I
guys.
didn't go
I get
anywhere
excited in
near
these
the
sort of things. This
Everford
is awesome.
Forest.
She's lying.
And
I hate
plus,
to change the
plus the
subject,
suit's
but
starting to get actually
look at
kind of hot in
Trixie.
here.
Seems Sonata really got to her.
I feel kind of bad for her.
Eh.
Well, no matter. I have to focus on breaking this testimony.
soon as you hit that final line, Phoenix, tell me, how can you tell that stick of theirs is actually a golf club?
I was settling in my hotel room after picking up some equipment for Ace.
Really?
What kind of equipment?
Athletic equipment. Knee pads, helmets, stuff like that.
Seriously?
He played all kinds of sports.
Speaking of equipment, any clue as to why he was wearing the lightning-proof suit that night?
He wore it all the time with a race coming up. The outfit is quite uncomfortable from what I'm told.
It looks like it.
And he practiced wearing it before the race to get used to the discomfort.
Do you have anyone to confirm you were shopping that day?
No, I don't.
Then this alibi of yours isn't looking too reliable at all.
How would you wish me to prove it? The store is quite busy with the race coming up. I doubt they'd remember one customer from a few days ago.
Well,
what about a receipt? You said you bought some items there. Without one, you could have been...
I have it right here.
Oh, man.
You didn't think I'd come unprepared, did you?
Actually, yes, if you so-called say you didn't do it.
This proves she was shopping a little before the murder. There's still a big enough time frame to put her in the forest.
Yes.
He wasn't at the hotel, so I figured he was practicing for the race. I went to bed and was woken up at 12 a.m. by the police knocking at my hotel room door.
Weren't you concerned where he was?
I was his manager, not his babysitter.
Makes sense.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't make an effort finding him, especially with his big race coming up soon.
If you haven't noticed, I can't fly.
Not
There'd be
yet.
no point wasting my time
I don't know why I
searching for
said
him when
that.
I can only search on land.
Guess it would be a little hard to find someone who can fly while you're grounded. And what time did you go to sleep?
8:30.
And that's around the time he was killed. If she really was in the forest that night, she has to be lying here.
She's lying there, but trust me, you'll get her.
Police had informed me of Ace's fate.
How did you react to his death?
I cried.
Hold up. What?
Cried?
Yes, it's a complex secretomotor phenomenon characterized by the shedding of tears from the lacrimal apparatus without any irritation of the ocular structures.
I know what crying is. I just can't see her crying.
Like I said to you earlier, I got over it quickly.
Nerd.
Those police who came to my door can confirm this as well.
I've got to ask them if her tears were made out of icicles.
Probably were.
That witness must be mistaken. I wasn't anywhere near the forest that night.
Why do you just
The
vaguely
witness
say
is
that?
not mistaken.
Mr. Wright, this same witness had a problem with her testimony yesterday. What makes you think she is not wrong this time?
Because she's
Because she
Fluttershy.
identified you perfectly under Luna's light. I doubt with her secluded lifestyle
See
she's
what he
ever
did
seen
that?
you before that point.
See what you did there?
Ace was famous.
He hasn't
She
heard
read
anything
a
about Luna,
newspaper
yet he
like
still used it.
Equestria Daily. I've had my picture published in there several times. Who knows? Maybe she's just describing me to shift the blame off her friend.
Well,
You really think Fluttershy's one to lie?
yes.
Why not?
No.
Didn't
Wait,
you
huh?
accuse her of perjury just yesterday?
Oh,
Wright?
why do you always have to bring that up?
Since the prosecution doesn't seem to be up to speed, can you please put a stop to Mr. Wright's baseless claims against me, Your Honor?
Oh, yes, I must stop this line of questioning about the previous witness's credibility.
Great.
It's alright. I just wanted a little more information. Time to go in for the coup de grace.
Yeah, haha, yeah, this is it.
And I certainly wasn't carrying that golf club you keep waving around.
Yeah, messed up there. Ooh.
Sonata, I'm very curious.
About what?
This stick.
The stick.
You claim you weren't carrying it.
And I'll say again, I wasn't.
But what I find odd here is what you called it in your testimony. I certainly wasn't carrying that golf club you keep waving around. Sonata, this stick looks nothing like a golf club.
At all.
Nor has anyone referred it to one during the duration of the trial. It was a golf club at one time. You're correct about that.
This thing is a golf club?
Yes, it just doesn't have the little handle
My
thing.
apologies, but I really don't
Not a
see
handle.
it.
I forgot what they call
That's
it.
because the end was
The
broken
iron?
off, Your Honor. I have reason to believe this strange metal object I found on the scene of the crime is the missing piece.
Yeah. Looks like a
It does
charred up
resemble
monkey
a
arm.
golf club if that piece were to be put
Deja
on the
vu.
end of the stick.
But right now, it's nothing but a dilapidated stick. Tell us, Sonata, how did
Dilapidated.
you notice the golf club?
I'm sorry, that's a funny word to me.
Do you think you're some sort of knight in shining armor, come to save the day?
Actually, he's a knight in blue armor, but sure, why not?
Because you're not. You're just another bottom-feeding defense attorney pointing out trivial details.
Mr. Wright,
let's hear your
pointed out
excuse.
a crucial flaw.
Let's hear your excuse.
How do you know this mangled stick was a golf club?
Defense attorneys fabricate the most interesting little fairy tales to protect criminals.
You know, something's wrong when a talking unicorn accuses you of telling fairy tales.
Ooh.
Miss Sonata, please answer the question.
Yeah, Sonata,
I was
come on.
mistaken. I have seen this stick before, as a golf club.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I said I was shopping for sports equipment that day? I saw a golf club at the store with the same unique handle shape. Namely, that P on the end of it, like the one you're
Now
holding.
she's just...
Sort at the store?
Last time I checked, a certain
Yes.
pink pony
Like I
made the
said,
thing
he's just
herself.
admirably trying to
So tell me,
defend a murder.
why is there another one?
Did I say admirably? I meant shamefully.
Nah, I don't care what you say, I already got
I
you.
just got the strangest sense of deja vu.
Me?
What do you
You?
mean?
Come on, man.
Her phony baloney excuse reminded me of another case.
You can prove she didn't see the golf club at the store?
It's one of a kind,
just
like
watch me.
the clock thing in the first
Your
game.
Honor,
You're
she
just
could not have
what?
seen this golf club at the store.
Really?
Yes, and I have proof.
Big proof.
Do go on, Mr. Wright.
She's.
You see,
Oh man,
Sonata
at least
couldn't
Gilda
have
was
seen
hard.
golf club
This is
because
too
it's one
easy.
of a kind.
Huh?
Let me introduce the court to the Pinky Iron Mark V.
Oh, it's Mark
the
5,
very
not Mark
first
4.
innovation patented by a one Pickamina Diane Pie.
Oh, right. That was Pinky's golf club.
Yeah.
I see.
Ah,
Wait a minute. If it's her first invention, what happened to Mark 1 through 4?
it's complicated.
Never mind that.
Yeah.
The point is, it's impossible for Sonata to have seen this club in the store, because it was crafted by Pinkie Pie and lost in the forest when she tried giving it a test run.
Oh yeah.
Not only does this prove Sonata here couldn't have seen the club at the store, but also, the only time she could have seen it whole was in the forest after Pinkie lost it.
That's right. Ooh, that's what's up.
May I also remind you, Sonata, she lost it in the forest a week ago.
A week, so
while
who was
you
there?
only arrived in Ponyville 3 days ago. The only place you could have seen it whole was the Everfree Forest.
Miss Sonata, explain this.
I...
You see?
I finally broke her.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
see how she talks
Broke
her
her.
way out of this one.
Bring it. See your silver tongue now.
Actually, I don't need to say anything.
Are you?
I'm afraid...
Please don't tell me you're gonna plead the fifth on
The
this.
defense has proven that you've seen this golf club while it was still one piece.
Please don't tell me you're gonna plead
But
the
do you
fifth.
remember why I was dragged in here? All because of that other witness. Let's not beat around the bush, shall we?
How many times
It's
are you gonna
obvious you're
like,
trying to say
Fluttershy?
I was in the forest that night,
easily?
right?
Yes.
Right? Then tell me, why didn't Fluttershy see me leave? She said she saw me walking towards Ponyville, but testified yesterday she saw nothing leave the forest at all.
There has to be some explanation.
Easy.
You're trying to plant me in that forest based on her testimony.
Because you.
Therefore, you need an explanation as to why she didn't see me leave.
The broken golf club should be enough proof. Gilda confirmed it.
Okay, I'll humor you.
Bring it.
Let's assume I was near the forest.
Which you were.
Not in it, just near it.
Oh,
Since
near.
we are to
Uh-oh.
disregard Fluttershy's testimony as she didn't see me leave, who is to say Rainbow Dash or Gilda didn't carry the golf club and I found it there?
Because they said they didn't do it.
I don't believe picking up a stick is a crime.
Bet.
Well, she does bring up some valid points, right? I can't allow you to continue accusing her if you cannot provide stronger evidence she was inside that forest. But your client's verdict has been handed down, and unless you're willing to provide a substantial amount of evidence against this manager to convince me otherwise, I won't hesitate to end the trial right now.
Hold on, Judge. Give me a moment.
What do I do?
Actually, Phoenix, I think I know how she did it.
Teleporting, right?
But I could be wrong.
Teleporting.
How?
It's highly unlikely, but Sonata could have teleported.
teleport it.
She seems like a strong
Yes,
unicorn. She can do it.
But like I said, it's very unlikely. It's a very advanced unicorn spell. Not many unicorns even know how to do it. Unicorns
It also
like
explains
Trixie
the
and I
Apple
can
Bloom
form it
business
without
as
any
well. That's what
repercussions,
backs
since they're
up the
pretty
claim.
much specialize in magic.
I actually think she does know it.
Yeah.
You think this witness knows how to teleport,
The
Mr.
book that from
Wright?
Camelot.
These pictures of a book I found in her hotel room.
Nice.
Hey, you can't confirm that book belongs to me.
Do we need to
Would
do
you like
this
to go through the
situation?
arduous process we went through yesterday to prove it does? Knowing what it will reveal, I have a feeling you don't.
That's right, Sonata.
Does that book belong to you, witness?
Yes, it does.
Just tell the truth.
What are you doing?
It's
Why
not
don't
gonna
you
hurt
tell
that
everybody
bad.
about her blackmailing?
Because she obviously doesn't want it revealed. I can use it to make her sing like a canary. Guess you should have thought about that before trying to get me arrested.
Force her to tell the truth about the smaller details, and eventually they'll start piling up on her. Good thinking, Phoenix.
That's what
It's no
Phoenix
good to us
does.
anyway until we get her in the
This is
forest.
Phoenix is for.
Her blackmailing won't really help us on why Ace was killed.
Yeah.
Right, Miss Sparkle.
He's just gonna put her
can
in
you
custody
please
once the
stop
trial is
whispering
over.
there and tell us about this book.
Sorry, Your Honor. This is an advanced spell book. If we can find a teleportation spell inside, it proves Sonata could have escaped the forest without using the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
But these pages, Mr. Wright, I can't make a lick of sense out of them. I'm not familiar with these characters.
Well,
We have a magically adept unicorn with an astute mind for the subject right here to confirm if there's a teleportation spell in this book. Twilight Sparkle.
Twilight Sparkle. Midnight
Miss
Waffle, I like to call her.
Can you please confirm if there is a teleportation spell in this book as Mr. Wright claims?
Yes, Your Honor, I can.
That's right.
Objection! No, you don't.
Really?
Her decoding what it says would be biased.
Hey, I won't lie.
Element of I
Sorry,
mean,
but
due to
this
magic.
court can't take that chance. You being friends with the defense completely ruins your credibility.
Any other suggestions?
We could get a professor from Canterlot's Magic Academy to confirm it, if I can't. It shouldn't take long once I find the spell. I'll just have Spike send a copy of the inscription from the book to the Academy.
Very well. I'll grant a short
See.
recess for the defense to analyze this book in the photograph and give time for Miss Sparkle to gather her findings.
Wow. And they're gonna read it, it's gonna be true, and 20 minutes of their lives have been wasted all because she wanted to
The
grasp
spell
the
Twilight
straws.
Sparkle located in the book was indeed the relocation spell. It was also verified by the head professor in Canterlot's main magic academy.
That's right. Now where you gonna
So
run?
there is the possibility she may have teleported from the forest.
Oh, yes.
So what? The spell is in my book, but you can't prove I actually know this spell.
What if we can?
I don't know how to execute it.
Really?
You're saying you
But
don't know
you
how to
saying you don't know how to
teleport?
execute it is biased to
If
yourself.
I owned a book on quantum physics, would that mean I had a master's degree in quantum physics?
Yes.
Good
No.
point.
Hey, I actually own a great, insightful book on quantum physics, and I don't mean to brag, but I know a lot about quantum physics, and I study it regularly. You never know when you might need quantum physics to get you out of a jam. It's a really fascinating subject, and I take great pride and passion in...
Nerd!
Sorry.
No problem.
Many unicorns like me have a hard time executing that rare spell. A good percentage just don't have it in them to do it. It's even more difficult for one such as myself, as my talent isn't magic like the defense's co-counsel and the prosecution.
Really? Okay, so
And
Trixie
besides
can
that,
probably teleport.
Even if I was able to teleport. Riddle me this, right?
Ooh,
If
Riddler.
you're claiming I teleported, why would I not teleport back to my hotel room?
Because you got bumped in
If
by a little
you're
filly.
accusing me of secretly being in the forest, why would I compromise everything by teleporting near Fluttershy's abode, leaving myself exposed and vulnerable, not being able to use magic?
You do what now?
Since you seem a great deal
I know he doesn't
ignorant
know
to
anything.
this,
The
perhaps
only
your
person who probably
co-counsel
knows
would like
anything
to
would be
explain the spell in a little
very
more
mute
detail,
person at the
as
moment.
she seems to be an expert on it.
Okay. It works like this.
Oh. I like this kind of animation. That's cool.
When performing a teleportation spell, you need 3 things. A mental image of your destination, stalwart concentration, and natural magic talent.
Yeah. That's one thing you don't have, Phoenix.
A less talented unicorn could learn the teleportation spell and perform it well enough to make one big jump from deep inside the forest to almost anywhere in Ponyville.
Yay.
But their magic would be completely diminished afterwards.
So what you're saying is, if you were guilty of being in the forest that night and didn't want to be caught...
Why would I teleport right in front of Fluttershy's house, out in the open, so she could potentially catch me, and not to my hotel room? Do I look that stupid?
Yes.
I hate to say it, but she's right. If she really did teleport, why would she make her destination out in the open?
She was messed
The
up.
limits on teleportation are you can only jump to places you've seen with your own eyes. It doesn't make any sense she'd teleport to somewhere she'd get caught.
And we know Sonata must have been in that hotel room beforehand. She was Ace's manager. There's got to be some explanation for this.
Seeing as you do not have any proof as to why Fluttershy didn't see me leave the forest, may I please go now?
No.
I've had enough of this 3-ring circus
Come
you
on,
call
just
a
need one of
trial.
somebody to say something. Yes.
Miss Trixie, may I ask what is so funny?
I thought I shut you up earlier.
You may have shut her up
It's just
for
that
a
Trixie
split
knows
second.
of a reason why this witness didn't teleport all the way back to her hotel room.
You do? But why are you...
Why are you helping the defense?
Because she doesn't like
You
you.
need to be taught some manners, you impudent hussy. No pony, and I mean no pony, disrespects the great and powerful Trixie.
This is exactly why she shouldn't be prosecuting.
Looks like the Trixie we all know and love is back.
Yay.
But why is she helping us?
Because...
I don't think she's doing it to help us, more so to defend her pride.
Yep.
Either way, I'm not complaining. Let's just see where this goes.
And I know exactly where it is.
You have an idea as to why the witness here didn't teleport all the way back to the hotel?
Trixie certainly does, Your Honor. During Trixie's extravagant magic show, the grand finale involves teleportation.
Yep.
Trixie would use her magnificent, unrivaled powers to teleport behind the audience, letting off a display of fireworks and other grand visuals to put the crowd in a state of sheer awe.
Well, aren't you special?
Since the advent of a lavender loser, Trixie has received some tough crowds. Yeah, Trixie's talking about you, Twilight Snarkle. You and your stupid bangs.
What's up with you and her bangs?
Twilight Snarkle?
I know, it's the worst insult I've ever heard. And what's worse is she keeps attacking my bangs. What's wrong with my bangs? They match my tail.
I don't know.
No.
I actually thought your fringe looked kind of cute.
Trixie has had tomatoes and an assortment of other fruit and vegetables tossed at her during her show.
Were they good?
Oh, of course.
Huh?
I know where Trixie is going with this.
Yeah.
Care to enlighten
It's like
me?
my theory.
Just listen.
I know she of all people
During
would probably
one of her
have,
shows,
like,
Trixie
inexperience
was
with it.
preparing for her teleportation finale when a wretched apple hit Trixie and interrupted her.
Then what happened?
Trixie ended up in the middle of the crowd instead of behind them.
What? How does that work?
When a unicorn loses focus of a teleportation spell while channeling magic, as Dorky Bangs mentioned,
Bangs!
results will be random. You'll end up anywhere between point A and B. Trixie isn't saying that sad excuse of a unicorn on the stand bumbled it up, though. Just that it's a possible explanation for why she ended up where she did.
You know,
I don't believe
not
this.
attacking
You're
you,
doing
just putting up a
everything
possibility.
wrong.
Speaking of wrong, the ball is in your court now. Whether that's what happened or not is for you to prove.
And there's a
I'm
certain
still
filly
really
that
shocked
did it.
Trixie just did that.
Me too. But it's useless unless we can prove something interrupted Sonata while she prepared to teleport.
Don't worry, guys, you got it. It's in that head
How
somewhere.
can we prove something like that? I've been looking through our evidence and I don't see a thing.
Really?
Actually, I think I got it.
Thank you, Phoenix.
Your Honor, I think I know what could have startled Sonata.
Oh, yes.
What is that, Mr. Wright?
The answer is obvious.
Yes.
It was the lightning bolt.
No!
Oh, that makes sense. That sound would have startled anyone.
Man.
Especially if they were in a dark, spooky forest at the time.
Exactly.
You sure you want to suggest that, Mr.
Even
Wrong?
Trixie knows it.
The first lightning bolt struck at 8:40, meaning Sonata would have a perfect alibi. She would have been preparing to leave the forest before any of the lightning struck. That is, if you're really trying to pin this on her.
What about the second one?
We've been through this, Trite. 3 witnesses testified to not hearing it. We can still see, without a doubt, that lightning bolt did not make a sound that night. But if you would like to suggest that the first lightning bolt startled her, Trixie's all fine and dandy with that.
It seems Sonata has a tighter alibi than before.
That can't be! Just look at her! She's sweating bullets right now!
I don't see
If
anything.
you had a Neanderthal with a goofy haircut and an evil purple-shaded nerd lobbing false accusations at you...
Evil purple-shaded
with a
nerd.
happy smile on your face?
Yes,
She has a point,
actually.
Right?
Because that'd be awesome.
This is such a
Just to
glorious
have the
day for
experience.
Trixie has finally exacted her revenge on Twilight Snarkle,
Her and
had
Snarkle.
a dangerous criminal banished, and put the stupid four-eyed bimbo in her place. Can you say hat trick?
Hat trick.
It's a good thing Trixie had confirmation of that first bolt. Otherwise, all this wouldn't have been possible.
I got it!
Yes, you do
I know
now.
what startled Sonata here. Not only that, but I can clear up another mystery too.
Here we go. Here we go,
Please
Phoenix.
do go on, Mr.
I don't know if that was Trixie's
Let's
intention,
think back
which
to
I'm
yesterday.
probably sure it's not.
We had a certain little witness confirm the time of the first bolt for us.
Oh, you mean that cute filly?
Yes, Your Honor. Apple Bloom. Apple Bloom was lost in the forest for quite some time, when all of a sudden, she bumped into something.
Something?
We've already concluded that was irrelevant information.
Yeah, she didn't know.
Not exactly.
Not
Because
exactly.
I think the thing Apple Bloom bumped into is right there on the stand.
Yeah.
Let's bring ourselves back to that night. Apple Bloom was lost in the forest and bumped into something she couldn't see, making it jump from what she described. Suddenly she sees a large flash of light she thought was lightning, but was actually the teleportation spell.
Yep.
Uh-oh, looks like he found you out.
So it was kind of intentional.
Sonata was preparing to teleport to the hotel room, no doubt. But she was startled by Apple Bloom bashing into her out of nowhere and lost her focus.
Awesome.
Apple Bloom ended up being an unintentional stowaway during Sonata's incomplete teleportation spell. The interruption sent them both not to Sonata's room, but right near Fluttershy's cottage. That's why Fluttershy didn't see Apple Bloom leave the forest.
Alright.
Sonata brought her out by teleporting. Drained after using an advanced spell and being next to a blind, disoriented filly, Sonata had no choice but to run eastward with a golf club in her mouth. Apple Bloom, however, walked home to Sweet Apple Acres in the south.
This is ridiculous. You have no proof I did this.
No point in denying it anymore. We all know you were in that forest, Four Eyes.
Yep.
So why don't you be a good little pony and come clean? All we need is possibility. Unless you care to explain where you've seen that golf club before?
I...
This also explains
Getting hit
how
by
the
both
filly is in the
sides.
forest of detective.
Reminds me of Edgeworth, man.
Exactly. This is the best explanation we have.
You're caught, Sonata. Time to face the music. What were you doing in the forest that night?
I refuse to testify.
Don't plead the fifth now.
I reserve the right to remain silent
Oh,
in any case
God.
where my testimony could lead to self-incrimination.
But you forget that
Oh,
you're
please.
already in too
Perhaps
deep.
Trixie can once again enlighten every pony. You see, our sophisticated-looking business pony here has a gloomy secret. Trixie's brilliant mind was able to find this out yesterday, after the conclusion of the analysis of that filthy griffin feather.
This has to
All
do with
because
why
Gilda
she was
hit
in
the
forest?
wrong spots with you, huh?
Yes, it does. Little Miss Sonata here is a dirty blackmailer.
Oh, so she's the one to pull that out.
What? Wait, you knew about that?
Trixie's Trixie.
Of course Trixie knew. Why do you ask, Mr. Wrong?
I was kind of saving that information for my ace in the hole.
Ooh.
Too late, Trixie beat you to it.
Pretty much.
Trixie knew those pictures of rainbow trash had something to do with this. So Trixie simply asked the local developers for a record of their clients.
Why didn't I think of that?
Wow, really, Phoenix?
And they told Trixie it was you, Four Eyes. Trixie simply connected the dots to why this manager of an undefeated athlete would develop pictures like those. She and the victim were in cahoots with each other, blackmailing rainbow trash and probably many more throughout the late Mr. Swift's career.
Some worse than others.
Might I ask, if the prosecution and defense knew about this, well, why didn't they bring it up sooner?
Trixie could have spoken for Mr. Wrong, but she didn't, because the situation didn't call for it.
Exactly.
Trixie didn't believe there was a way this witness could have been in the forest. But
Now she does.
She seemed to have proven otherwise.
And I couldn't because
she was. You were blackmailing her.
she was blackmailing me.
Oh, she was blackmailing my
You
fault.
let her blackmail you?
My fault. Lol,
Wow,
fucked up.
you really are a loser.
But he's a
Miss
great
Sonata,
loser.
Were you blackmailing the defense's clients?
No, I wasn't. I would never do anything like that.
These papers say otherwise.
Oh
I
god.
found all these in Sonata's hotel room. And this particular letter, blackmailing my client, matches Sonata's writing.
There you have it. Trixie
And
has
Sonata.
used her brilliance to triumph over a snide liar.
I'm not saying you're not a good liar. I'm just saying you shouldn't lie when you're obviously found out. Oh man, look out! I can do that
Taking
too.
advantage of others like that? You're despicable.
Actually, I need this pencil.
Spare me. You've finally proven I was in the forest and that I was blackmailing your client. But that hardly makes me a murderer.
You wanna bet?
We'll see about that. Let's hear what you were doing in the forest that night.
Yeah, real
There's
testimony.
no escaping either. You've already cast too much suspicion over yourself to just waltz out of here. Oh, and Mr. Wrong.
What?
Let Trixie make one thing crystal clear.
Crystal.
Trixie still knows for a fact rainbow trash is the true culprit of this crime.
Ugh.
Then why did you...
Because Trixie needs the correct facts before she can properly prosecute that rainbow loser. In fact, this whole blackmail revelation sets that motive you so desperately wanted before. Rainbow Trash killed him because the cheater and his bimbo manager were blackmailing her.
Gee, here I thought she was just being nice.
Nah, please.
Whatever. I wasn't planning on leaving anyway. I'll tell you why I was in there that night and show you why it still doesn't matter.
Okay.
Don't sit there so comfortably, Wright.
Oh my god,
This
you and your
is
smug
far
tone.
from over. And
Tell me
Trixie,
about it. I got another hour and you got a whole another 2 hours. Of course it's
I
far from over.
dislike you. Just thought I'd reiterate that in case it wasn't clear enough.
Look out.
Oh, thank you. Trixie gets that a lot.
That wasn't a compliment, Trixie.
I think she knows that. It's called sarcasm, I would say, on her end.
No point in hiding it. Ace and I were blackmailing Rainbow Dash. We ordered her to meet in the Everfree Forest.
Okay, nothing there.
I got there long before Ace, and I hid in some foliage near the meeting place. Rainbow Dash showed up and made negotiations with Ace. She declined and flew up high, hitting a storm cloud she put there in foresight. I watched as a lightning bolt hit Ace directly on one of the exposed parts on his suit. It sent him flying a few feet, as the prosecution stated. I got out of the forest as fast as I could. That is all that happened.
We didn't even
This changes nothing.
But she hasn't even mentioned the golf club at
This
all.
still doesn't explain why you took the golf club.
Right there.
I still deny touching that. I only saw it on the crime scene.
Are you serious?
You aren't too smart, are you? You were the last pony in there, and it was found outside the forest.
Not to mention you're the only suspect.
Yes.
There's no way Fluttershy could have seen the handle before that point, other than when she saw you walking with it.
So please
Then
stop
maybe
denying.
she's the one who took it out. You said your pink accomplice lost the accursed thing in that forest a week ago. Therefore, Fluttershy could have witnessed her lose it. The forest is near her cottage, after all.
Really?
Though she saw me going towards town, there was a large time frame where she was alone. You have no way to tie me to that golf club other than what she claims she saw. I was simply in the forest to oversee our deal with Rainbow Dash, who I then witnessed kill Ace.
Who does she think she's fooling?
Phoenix?
I think she's fooling
I don't mean
everybody.
to interrupt you, but
But what?
there's something that rubs me the wrong way about the testimony she gave.
Tell me about it.
Huh? There is? What is it?
Call it intuition. I think it has something to do with what I found yesterday.
I better look through the evidence Twilight gave me.
Let's go to our 3DSs, everyone. Let's look through that evidence, shall we?
No point in hiding it. Ace and I were blackmailing Rainbow Dash. We ordered her to meet in the Everfree Forest.
Hold it!
Why would you want to meet in the forest? Surely you know how dangerous it is in there.
Well, that's why it's
Ace
such a
and
good
I
place to
personally
meet.
liked making these deals in secluded locations. We couldn't risk flies on the wall listening in.
And this is how you had your victims cooperate. You were able to find their weaknesses using that talent of yours.
Yep.
It's probably why he was really wearing that lightning-proof suit. Not to prepare for the race, but to attempt to conceal his identity from Rainbow Dash in the dark forest, as you just naturally blended in with your dark colors.
Smart.
That's correct. It's worked up to this point. Well, besides two individuals who went against my terms. One being the defendant, the other... I'm sure you know who that is, right? Don't you?
Yes.
But both of them are going to get their just desserts soon enough.
Just us.
As much as Trixie would love to see you both arrested, we honestly don't care how you cheat and manipulate. Let's get back to what you saw in the forest, Four Eyes.
Yep.
Cheat and manipulate. Do you really think you have the right to judge
This
me?
again?
What do you say we all talk about you?
No.
And your pitifully weak vendetta against the defense's co-counselor.
Somebody object.
That's right, Twilight. It stems past the humiliation she suffered from you. Isn't that right, Trixie?
Oh no, it's actually hitting her again. No, it's not.
Huh. Don't even bother trying to pull that one again, lady.
Thank you.
Trixie was a fool to let some blackmailing hussy get to her the first time. Even if Trixie has to get you off the hook for Mr. Wrong's murder accusation, you're still getting locked up for your other crimes.
Yeah.
Trixie hopes you enjoy stale bread, because that's all you're going to be eating for a long time.
The great and powerful Trixie. Not the weak and helpless Trixie.
Miss Sonata,
That's
please
awesome.
continue your testimony.
What are they talking about?
I'll tell you later. You've got to focus on winning here.
Yeah. We'll come to that bridge when we come to it.
I got there long before Ace, and I hid in some foliage near the meeting place. Rainbow Dash showed up and made negotiations with Ace.
Hold it! And what were these negotiations?
Yes, you
For
drop
her to drop out of the race.
out the race. We don't
Why
disturb
didn't
the
you just
pictures.
have her lose? Why have her drop out completely?
Cruise controls. Cruise controls little
Because of her
incident.
performance at an
And-
event, it's clear she's the better athlete in every way, shape, and form.
Aw.
But the main reason was because of her arrogance and pride.
Ew.
If she were to participate in that race, there was a chance her competitive nature would kick in, and she would throw away all bets and try to win.
You're wrong.
Even at the price of those pictures
Actually.
being exposed.
There will not be a chance. It is like
I've only known her for a day and a half.
likely
That really sounds
to
like something Rainbow
absolutely
Dash
she
would
will.
She declined and flew up high, hitting a storm cloud she put there in foresight. I watched as a lightning bolt hit Ace directly on one of the exposed parts on his suit. It sent him flying a few feet, as the prosecution stated.
Hold it!
I'd like to ask you what you witnessed here, Sonata. Unlike Gilda, you actually saw this, correct?
Yes.
Every solitary detail. Yes.
How were you able to see all this?
Yeah.
I'm sure Rainbow Dash would have seen you if you were illuminating the area with your horn.
This is true.
That's because I didn't. The lightning itself lit up the area after she set it off. In that split second, I was able to see everything that had happened.
Okay.
Would you care to share these details?
Yes.
After the negotiations went sour, Rainbow flew up and hit that cloud. As you know, there are some exposed parts on that racing suit.
We know this already.
I saw Ace look up, bewildered at what she was doing, and the bolt hit him directly on his neck. As Gilda claimed the prosecution theorized, the lightning's impact hurtled his body a few feet.
His neck, huh?
His neck.
I got out of the forest as fast as I could.
His neck.
That is all that happened.
His neck.
This changes nothing.
Objection!
Looks like you saw things wrong here, Sonata.
Yes, I get it.
Or maybe you're just lying.
What are you talking about?
Something else should have happened there.
Something else?
Detailed right here in this autopsy report. There was a burn mark on the back of the victim's neck.
Back to
Sonata,
the victim's neck.
if you watch these events transpire, how did he come to acquire this scar?
I left the forest right away. How should I know?
I don't think so.
No.
You didn't leave the forest right away.
How would you know that?
Trust
Do
me.
you
he
remember
knows.
what time Applebloom got out?
Ooh.
9 o'clock. Cursity of Sonata. Seeing as the lightning bolt hit 8:40, and it's only a 15-minute walk to the entrance, that leaves a long time frame where you were still inside the forest. In fact, it's even larger considering you admitted to teleporting out. So I'll ask again, where did he get that scar?
Objection! She did explain where he got it. The lightning itself must have struck in his exposed neck.
If you looked up, it should have hit right here, not right there.
Not according to another detail Sonata shared.
Yeah.
She stated, I saw Ace look up, bewildered at what she was doing, and the bolt hit him directly on the neck.
Yep. That would have been a horrible
You're
whatever
right.
this thing is called.
It would have left a mark
Adam's
on the front
apple.
of his neck if he was looking up.
Would have had a burnt Adam's apple, not a burnt
Care
back.
to explain this, Four Eyes?
Yeah.
That mark isn't from the lightning bolt. That mark was from the day before the incident. Ace was in a dangerous race inside of Wright's volcano and must have picked up the nasty scar from some embers.
Well, that could explain it. His schedule confirms that he was indeed racing in that volcano the day before he came into Ponyville. It would have still been fresh. This is just stupid. Of all places you could race, why would any pony with a sane mind feel the need to race in a volcano?
High risk, high reward.
Yes.
The prize was a treasure known as the Flame Dragon Ruby.
And I bet you two won that through cheating, huh?
Of course.
We did. Probably.
Like how she admits that.
Shut
Problem.
up, wrong. She gave you a good explanation for the burn.
Do you
Nope.
have a doctor's note to confirm this injury?
He didn't like doctors, so it doesn't really come as a surprise that he didn't want to get it checked out.
Really?
So you're saying he had this burn mark on his neck before he even arrived in Ponyville?
It's a lie.
That's
I remember
exactly
a
what I'm
certain
saying.
picture Cruise
Mr.
Control
Wright
gave
is
them.
doing what defense attorneys do best, trying to make something out of irrelevant
Oh my
details.
God. It just ticks me off how good she thinks she got this.
There is something wrong here.
Yes, it is.
He couldn't have had that burn mark before the incident.
Twilight, I'm supposed to be the lawyer here.
No, not anymore, you're not.
He got that scar from his race in the volcano.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. And I have proof.
Nice.
Twilight, you really shouldn't...
A pony named Cruise Control gave this to me yesterday.
Yes, him. The
And
person
what
that you're
about
keeping a small
It's a
little
picture of the
filly.
person entering the forest. With the timestamp on it, it shows it was taken 20 minutes before the crime even took place.
Do you see a scar?
What
I
are you
surely
trying to
don't.
prove here, Snarkle? Every pony knows when he entered the forest.
I'm not trying to prove he went in there. Look closer and you'll see exactly what I'm trying to prove.
Yes. Do you see a burn mark? I sure
You
don't.
see it, don't you? There's no burn mark on the back of his neck.
You see it, don't you? Or, in fact, what you don't see. That's what you should have said.
This proves he acquired that scar while he was in the forest.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, did every pony see that? That felt so exhilarating. This is so exciting! I found a flaw in her testimony! Do you all think I sounded professional enough? Oh, I'm going to tell the princess about this!
Dear Princess Celestia, I became a lawyer for 2 seconds.
Sorry, I got a little carried away.
A little.
Maybe a little. But thank you anyway.
Yes.
Let me take the reins from here.
That makes your side of the story of that part 3
Sonata.
really relevant.
As my co-counsel has pointed out,
Yes.
he couldn't have acquired that scar prior to entering the forest.
It was from the golf club.
The golf club?
I'd like to hear how this golf club resulted in a burn mark.
She's gonna admit to him. She's gonna admit to attacking him now, isn't she?
When Rainbow Dash set the cloud off, the bolt was large enough to hit Ace as well as the ground. The bolt had started a fire, and it was my burden to put it out. He fell to the ground, neck landing on the golf club and breaking it. That's how the burn mark got there. I moved the body and stick aside and put out the fire myself. I ran away from the crime scene after experiencing such an incident, but returned later when I realized I forgot to take the golf club.
So in that time frame, Gilda did her deed of putting the body up,
So you really did take
too.
the golf club?
Yes, I did.
Well, you're finally admitting to that now, aren't you?
You were just
You and this
denying
problem
earlier you even
business.
touched it.
That's because I tampered with the crime scene. That would have me, and is going to have me, put away for quite some time.
You're already going away for blackmailing
Then
and
why
stuff.
admit it now?
Because I'm already going to jail for my victory methods, what's a little longer to clear this outlandish murder accusation you're trying to put on me?
Really?
But why would you...
You might as well admit to killing him forthright. Jeez.
Because I touched it when I moved it aside. I wanted to remove all evidence I was there.
Okay, focus, Phoenix.
You got this.
She's constantly revising the story. She has to run out of excuses sooner or later.
When Rainbow Dash set the cloud off, the bolt was large enough to hit Ace as well as the ground.
How big was this fire?
Quite large. You were at the clearing, were you not? You probably noticed the scarring on the ground. That's how big it was before I put it out.
Alright.
How did you manage to put it out?
I used Ace's bag to beat it down.
Wait a minute. If you took the golf club because you touched it, why did you leave the bag behind?
It didn't matter. I've touched that bag a million times before. Ace's butler, too. His stylist, and even his mother when she packs his lunches.
I'm sorry, I just started thinking about the Simpsons in the wrong way. My bad.
How old is he?
Touched his bag.
25.
Wow. That's a shame.
She didn't answer that.
The point is, there were tons of indications others have touched it aside from me. And I wanted Rainbow Dash to pay for not only not following our terms, but killing Ace. So I purposely left those pictures behind.
Really? So you knew Trixie was gonna take them and show it to
The bolt
everybody.
started a fire, and it was my burden to put it out.
Why did you feel the need to put it out?
Yes.
Being environmentally friendly?
Forest fires. Only you can prevent them.
Drawing attention to the scene was my main concern.
I see. If someone were to see that fire, it would attract other ponies,
Yep.
and you would be caught on the crime scene.
Exactly. But it seemed that it didn't matter any longer.
Seems that way.
He fell to the ground, neck landing on the golf club and breaking it. That's how the burn mark got there.
He fell on the club?
I heard it snap as he landed on top of it. So I guess so.
And that's how the burn got there.
I hurried to the flaming area and tried to put out the fire. His body was
Something-
in the way, so I moved him and the stick out of the flame.
There's something wrong
The
with
fire
that.
must have heated up the metal in the stick, broke, and left that burn mark on his neck.
That would mean the body wasn't hurtled by the lightning. Sonata was the one who moved both him and the stick to the dirt patch where Gilda discovered him.
I moved the body and stick aside and put out the fire myself.
Objection!
Thank you.
Sonata, what you just said doesn't line up.
It doesn't at all.
Why not?
You said the golf club was laying in the fire. But just look at it. It smoldered and burnt beyond any recognition. If Ace was really laying in the fire for as long as the golf club, The exposed parts on the suit should be all burned, not just a small one from the stick. Flesh burns faster than metal. Even the suit itself would have taken damage from those flames.
Oh, kidding.
Oh my! You are correct, Mr. Wright.
That's called science.
Your explanation doesn't make any sense, Sonata.
At all. Oh man, this is great.
Stop trying to turn anthills into mountains.
This is no anthill. A lot of things don't line up with these events if we take this into consideration. The victim could not have been laying in that fire. His burns should be as severe as the likes of the golf club. But all we have is one burn mark on the back of his neck. So this can only mean one thing. The victim was alive after the first bolt came down.
Got it.
Objection! This is stupid. The first bolt is the only one that could have killed him.
Objection.
That's where you're wrong. I believe I know what happened based on a piece of evidence.
Evidence?
Oh, yes.
I think there was a struggle of some kind.
Oh.
Again, this is the most foolish foolery of your foolish fool brain in that foolish spiky cranium of yours. How could he have had a struggle with lightning?
Easy, the lightning came alive and it's Sonata.
I think this lightning has been one big red herring all along.
What basis do you suggest the victim had to struggle, Mr. Wright?
Let's review what we know. The burn mark on the back of his neck. The golf club is really the only thing that could have done it. I have no doubt it was laying in that fire for quite some time, which in turn heated the metal. Next, the golf club itself. It was to be assumed it broke when he fell on top of it. But the body should have been just as burned as the golf club if you were laying in that fire to render it to what it is now. There's no way the body could be like it is if it were really hit by the first bolt.
Yep.
We find ourselves back at this question. How did the golf club burn him?
Explain.
The only answer I can draw is someone hit him with it. And I think we all know who that someone is.
The only one that was in the
Are
forest.
you suggesting she hit him?
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm suggesting.
You just keep getting dumber and dumber. You know that?
Actually, he gets smarter
Then
and
perhaps
smartier.
you can explain where he got the burn mark.
Yes, Trixie.
Remember, he had to have received it while he was alive in the forest based on this picture.
Do your business, Trixie. Let's see.
I
That's what I thought.
Couldn't the defendant have used the stick to hit him?
Nope.
I just can't see why his manager would assault him like this.
He's right. Rainbow Trash could have easily hit him.
But
They had those pictures of her after all.
Rainbow Dash is not a unicorn.
Have to get bailed out by the judge.
Rainbow could not have done that.
She's not a
She was
unicorn.
long gone after the lightning came down.
And even if she did do it,
Yeah, according to Gilda. But do you remember she gave up chase to look for her package?
That's true, Rainbow could have gone back while Gilda was looking for her package. But I'm not talking about that. Sonata here was the only one who could have used that golf club to hit him.
because that thing was on fire.
And you of all ponies should know why, Trixie.
Because you yourself are a
What do you
unicorn.
mean?
But how could she be the only one?
Very simple, Your Honor.
My little pony, my little
Philly's
pony.
Guide to Ponies? Is that a children's book?
The best dang children's book ever.
I, gave that to you to read, not to, present as, evidence.
Oh.
Trixie read
Too
that
bad.
one while she was still learning to speak. How dare you bring such a childish item in and make a mockery of this court?
Coming from Miss Wizard Hat and Wizard Cloak.
Hey,
Hold on a sec.
Star Swirl makes
I'm
it look
just using
good.
This as a visual aid to make my point.
This better be good.
Well, this book is pretty small. It details the different types of ponies in Equestria. Right here on page 1.
Oh, it's Tiny
unicorns
Curly.
use magic.
No.
And
no.
we see an
Main's
illustration of a
different.
cute little unicorn playing with toys.
She's adorable.
Using her horn to move them. Do you see what I'm getting at here? If that club was hot enough to burn his neck, any physical contact with it would have burned whomever picked it up. So that completely rules out Rainbow Dash and Gilda. And even if they did pick up the stick while it was cooled down, it wouldn't matter.
You
It
wouldn't let
wouldn't
the
be
burn
hot
mark.
anymore,
You wouldn't let
thus
the
not
burn
being able to leave that mark.
No!
Yes.
That would be the case if you were anyone. Or any pony but a unicorn.
All right,
Sonata is
Phoenix.
the only one who could have used it as a weapon. For the simple fact she could have picked it up without touching it using a levitation spell. Don't even bother saying you don't know that spell either, Sonata. It's one of the simplest of unicorn spells. I've even seen you doing it, picking up that notepad of yours.
Well, actually, to tell you the truth, she could you got her on a notepad
that
part.
leaves two questions.
But Scootaloo can't fly, so Philly, just because she's a Philly,
spell?
doesn't mean she can automatically
How
do
did he die
it.
of electrocution? To tell the truth, I don't have an answer for the latter. But I may have the one to why you hit him.
Yep.
But this is wrong. She couldn't have done it. Why would she? She was his assistant.
Weren't you the one who said the motive doesn't matter, Trixie?
Yep. Hit you by your own words.
You!
But unlike you, I think it does matter. And I'll gladly explain what I think her motive for striking him with the golf club was.
Do it, Phoenix.
Tell me, Sonata, the reason you hit him was this, wasn't it?
Resignation.
You were planning on backing out of your dubious blackmailing deeds, weren't you? As it says in your letter of resignation here. You probably showed this to Ace right after your deal with Rainbow went bad. I don't think Ace was too happy with your decision.
And he said we're gonna take this to the
letter was torn in
grave.
Half was found by Fluttershy's cottage, most likely blown away by the wind. Well, the other you must have recovered, as I found it in your hotel room. You couldn't just throw it away. Someone might find it. So you kept it in your room, while the police were busy investigating the crime scene. That's probably why you got so angry when Pinky and I intruded. You were afraid we might have discovered the meaning behind the letter. Also, the reason you didn't have us arrested on the spot.
Yep.
The police might have confiscated my evidence, including the torn letter, and connected it to you.
But what's the motive, Mr. Wright?
Ace
Motive
probably wasn't
self-defense.
too thrilled about his partner in crime giving up the ghost on their business, which is why he tore the letter in half after reading it.
Yep.
He didn't want to give it up, and in turn, didn't want you publicly disclosing what you two were doing.
I feel so smart.
Now, I doubt branding him with a hot stick was enough to kill him, and no doubt he'd be angrier afterwards.
Oh yeah.
There's no way you could prepare teleporting when engaged in an argument like that.
Concentration, like
So what
instant
happened
transmission
after,
for Goku.
There's no way you can't know. The first and second lightning bolt could not have killed him based on the evidence we have. So what killed him, Sonata? There's nobody left to blame for his death but yourself. Rainbow Dash being long gone after the first bolt came down, Gilda searching for her package, and Apple Bloom lost in the forest, whom later you brought out. You're the only one left who could have done it.
But if you're saying she killed him, how could she have electrocuted him?
Electric spell.
Trixie, you must know as well as I do that there are some spells out there capable of electrocution.
But artificial electricity isn't strong enough to kill.
But what about a stress-inducing,
situation she was in.
awesome, power-hungry hit?
Could have caused a magic surge.
Magic surge, that's the word I'm
In
looking
fact,
for.
he was weakened after being hit with a blazing hot, blunt object that could have caused head trauma. The
Yeah.
jolt could have been enough to stop his heart.
Oh.
She'd also have the ability to aim it at one of the exposed areas on the suit. Not only from examining the suit, but the magic illuminating the area where she conducted the spell.
You can't just say she did this. If Ace was really threatening her, why would she not just run away? Resorting to violence as a first option
Ace.
is totally illogical.
Ace is an athlete.
couldn't
This
outrun.
dude can
He was
just
an
fly
athlete.
at her.
He could have easily caught her without even trying. And I doubt they just talked things over and made up after she hit him.
Exactly.
By the fact we have a dead body.
Because you know me, when I get hit in the head with a blunt object, I'd just like to say,
There's
oh,
no
don't
way
worry,
the
guy,
second
we'll
bolt
just
could have done
compromise.
Being a dud as Trixie uncovered. And even if it wasn't a dud, it would have had to hit him in midair to not make a noise, which is impossible due to the protective suit. There's no way out of it. Sonata must have electrocuted him somehow between the time frame the first bolt came down and when Gilda moved the body.
Miss Sonata, what do you have to say to all this?
It's amazing what one little mistake ended up costing me.
She's confessing.
What?
When I first
The
spoke with you,
confession
I
music.
noticed your eyes showed a lot of determination and resourcefulness. That's one of the things I look at first. Eyes alone show what someone is like more than any other part of the body. They really are the window to the soul.
No!
Poetic.
It wasn't you! You didn't do it! It was Rainbow Trash!
Stop it,
It's why I wear
Trixie.
these glasses. They aren't correctional. They're purely cosmetic. Though they're transparent, I feel like they shield me. I was afraid someone would find out who I am. Find some weakness.
Just like what you were doing.
Exactly.
Stop! You didn't do it!
I suppose my weakness was pity. That's what made me write up that letter you hold in your hands, Wright.
The guilt of what you were doing to those innocent athletes caught up to you, didn't it?
Yes. That night, we arranged for Rainbow Dash to meet us in the forest.
Oh,
Time for
here's the truth.
negotiations.
Forget it! I'm not doing it!
Do it or else!
I don't care about that. Besides, I've got a better idea.
What?
Enjoy the parting gift!
That dude screamed like a little
Here, sucker.
female dog.
Ace!
I thought you said you would do it, Sonata.
I don't know what
Well, I
went wrong.
lied.
Ah! Never mind. Quick, put out that fire.
Use your bag to smother it.
Ugh.
I think we got all the flames.
This is just perfect. That little upstart is gonna ruin everything.
She won't tell. There's no way she can afford telling anyone about those pictures.
Then why didn't she cooperate?
Because she's Rainbow Dash. She's not a cooperating pony.
Sunk if she opens her mouth? It could still work out. I just have to beat her the old-fashioned way. That sonic rainbow thing was probably just over-exaggerated. Right?
No. No.
Yeah.
Mock, I saw the video where he explained it, like,
That since we got
Mach
here,
10? No.
Like what?
all dodgy, and you mope whenever we talk.
There was actually something I wanted to tell you after this whole thing went through.
What is it?
I was going to give you this, but perhaps it's better if I tell you.
Tell me what?
I can't help you do this anymore.
What?
These scandals we're pulling, I think we've gone too far.
Too far? Pfft, it's not like any pony is getting hurt.
Except every pony that's getting
We're
hurt.
exploiting vulnerabilities and weaknesses of innocent athletes just for our own fame and fortune.
What exactly are you trying to say here, Sonata?
Either you come clean and tell the truth about how you've been winning all this time, or I quit.
Are you joking? You can't quit. I can't do this without you. Then you'll go down with me. If I'm caught, you'll be caught too. You're just as guilty.
I'm sorry. Even if that may be the case, so be it. I can't do this anymore.
No!
Ace, calm down.
Oh man.
We can't go back now!
This dude's sounding like a wuss more and
You're
more.
not going anywhere, Sonata!
Jeez.
What are you doing?
You met an unfortunate fate in the forest.
What?
You met with an unfortunate fate, have you?
And
Who are you, the
ended your
hat?
life.
Who are you, the masked
No,
salesman?
Stop! Don't come any closer!
I wonder if she dies in the end.
Depressed state and couldn't race anymore. No one will notice my performance drop because I was forced to retire because you died.
Oh, this guy here.
My dear Sonata, I'm so very sorry, but I'm afraid I must ask you for one more thing. Farewell, Sonata.
Jeez. Sound effects.
You're dead.
Yep. Magical surge. As I suspected. See, it was all in self-defense, so it's fine.
In a situation like that, you don't really have time to think. I knew I couldn't run. It was hardly even a question. Ace was undeniably faster.
Yeah.
And I couldn't teleport. That took too much time and too much concentration. The only thing left to do then was to defend myself. I reached out with my magic and took hold of the nearest object, that disfigured, smoldering remnant of a golf club, and swung it as forcefully as I could. It hit the back of his neck, still hot enough to leave a nasty burn. The club snapped in two and Ace shrugged the whole thing off like it was nothing.
Dude.
When he looked at me then, That last time, he was angry. I dropped the broken pieces of the smoldering golf club and let them fall to the ground, and resorted to the only thing I had left, directing the full force of my magic power in his direction towards one of the exposed parts of the suit. What I had not taken into account was a magic surge which uncontrollably amplifies magic, and it may have let loose more than I had intended. After that, what frightened me most was not Ace and his uncontrollable anger, or even the fear of death, but that the force around me had grown entirely silent. He was lying on the ground. The spell had hurtled him a few feet. I ran away from the clearing as fast as I could. I couldn't use any spells of any kind, not being able to concentrate after what I had just done. I just ran away in complete darkness. When I realized he wasn't following me, I had to see what had happened. About 10 minutes after the whole ordeal, I cautiously went back to the clearing.
10 minutes, that's when Gilda
dark,
came by.
I saw the silhouette of his body lying there, lifeless. It didn't take me long to realize he was dead. Being caught for blackmailing was one thing, but there was no way I wanted to be caught as a murderer. Even if I could argue it was in self-defense, I'd have no clear-cut proof he was going to attack me.
Well, he got me there.
I'd be banished.
To the moon and her son.
I planned to take everything on the crime scene and make it look as if Rainbow Dash had done it.
Look more of a moon.
I quickly gathered up the golf club I struck him with, and the half of my resignation letter I still had. After I was all done, I went back into the forest, trying to calm down and prepare a teleportation back to my hotel room. But, as you all know now, while I prepared that teleportation, that child bumped into me, and, just as Trixie said, it was enough to corrupt my destination. Both Applebloom and I ended up a little ways from the forest entrance near Fluttershy's cottage. I was completely vulnerable. I couldn't use magic after that jump, so I just grabbed the stick and ran. I took a shortcut through the park. My heart was beating a mile a minute, and I wasn't really watching where I was going. I tripped on the bridge and dropped that stick in the lake. Since I was unable to use magic, I couldn't retrieve it, so I just left it down there. Once I got to my hotel, I tried to convince myself that I didn't do it. That's actually the reason I hadn't reported you earlier, Mr. Wright.
Man.
Why?
I knew you were starting to become suspicious of me when you saw some of those items lying around my room. I needed to throw you off my tail. After Wright and his friend left, I plotted to subdue him in that forest myself, but who should I run into but one of our past victims? Instead of taking the evidence back myself as I had planned, I made it so he would take the fall for me and redirect Wright's suspicion even if all the evidence was out.
Wow, so it was... Okay.
And it was just more serendipity you and the child acted as corroborating witnesses on the scene to Cruz's attack, Twilight, when I was just planning on the pink one to catch him. I told him I'd have his sibling pulled from the hospital if he didn't cooperate.
Oh, that's evil!
Just wait a second here. How was he able to phone me?
Yes, actually answer that question.
I don't know what you mean by that. I tried to send you a telepathic message. It's in that spell book you found, page 162. I was hoping due to your ignorance of Equestria you wouldn't question it. I did feel something intercepted the signal though. But somehow I was still able to talk to you.
Oh, so...
That was you?
Okay.
But the voice.
It's not hard to alter your voice when speaking through magic.
I'm gonna believe
you
that.
don't use your vocal cords for telepathy.
Yeah.
I just studied the way Cruise Control enunciated, and contacted you using that voice to articulate myself.
Okay, that makes sense.
Think of it as being able to project a piano melody you once heard vividly in your mind, but not actually knowing how to play the piano.
It's hilarious how piano is in the background right now.
Perfectly.
There's no way out of this now. I'm caught, and I guess it's time to pay my dues.
Oh, it was easier than it said.
Well, this seems to prove the innocence of the defendant. Miss Trixie, do you have anything to say regarding this confession?
There's nothing you can't say.
Miss Trixie?
Someone feels like she lost. Because she did. I'm gonna just leave that there.
Miss Sonata, your plea, whether your actions were in self-defense or not, will be reviewed by Equestria's Council and Supreme Court.
What about the
You also
princess?
face several other allegations regarding these blackmailings and tampering with the crime scene. I'm really sorry to say, but taking into account those crimes won't help their decision in your favor.
Tell me about it.
I understand.
But as of right now, I can retract my earlier verdict and hand down a proper one in the case of Miss Dash.
There better be confetti. This isn't a real court unless confetti comes down from the sky.
Run!
Yeah.
What's the matter?
What's up, Phoenix?
You know as well as I do that it's not over.
Mia?
You're worried, aren't you? Seek out the truth and everything will work out fine. You'll see.
Mia?
No. I can't let this happen.
Like, what happened?
I hereby retract my earlier verdict.
Yatta.
The defendant, Rainbow Dash, is found to be acquitted of...
Objection!
Can't I just hand down my verdict in peace?
I'm so sorry, Judge.
Wait, Mr. Wright?
No, Your Honor, it's not over yet.
Apparently.
There was a contradiction in the confession the witness gave.
What?
The defense believes that Sonata did not murder Ace Swift.
I just admitted it!
What are you doing? You were about to win.
And you just had like a
Your Honor,
hernia
may I
or
please
something.
request Sonata convert that confession she just made to testimony.
This is highly unorthodox for a defense attorney to hold the verdict in their favor.
Pretty much.
But if Miss Sonata is willing to, I can allow it.
I really don't understand what he's trying to pull here. But if it makes him happy, I'll do it.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Wright, I must warn you. If you believe there is a contradiction in this witness's testimony and manage to prove she's lying, your client will be seen as guilty once again and will be treated as such immediately afterwards. This will be the final testimony I will grant. With a confession like this from the perpetrator, I see no more reason to prolong this trial.
Hey, don't question Phoenix.
The defense understands, Your Honor.
Sooner or later, I'll get it
Phoenix,
too.
What are you doing?
Please, trust me. Everything's gonna be alright.
Please, Twilight.
All right. I trust you.
Thank you.
But why are you...
Alright, Miss Sonata, you've heard
There's some
Mr.
things
Wright.
better
Please
than just
confirm
having
your
a not guilty
confession to
verdict.
testimony.
The truth.
Fine. Have it your way, then.
Trying to figure out the truth myself, but okay.
Ace and I have been blackmailing several athletes for some time. I finally had enough of it. I was going to quit as his manager after he had won the Equestrian 500.
Okay, that's okay.
After Rainbow Dash refused our blackmailing attempt, Ace was angered. It didn't help he saw my letter after we were done quelling the fire, in which he ripped in half afterward.
That's okay.
He became furious and violent. I saw no choice but to retaliate with a burned golf club that was lying on the ground to defend myself. I hit him so hard it snapped.
Alright.
I dropped the broken pieces and resorted to offensive magic that was enough to shock him and render him to the ground.
Okay.
I retreated to the dark forest, running as fast as I could. I realized he wasn't chasing me, and returned to the clearing after a good 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I saw the silhouette of his body lying there, lifeless. Coming to terms of what I had done, I gathered the broken golf club at all costs so I wouldn't be caught.
Okay.
I headed back into the forest, and once I was calm, I prepared a teleportation spell back to my hotel room. And you know the rest.
Okay, and that's simple.
That's my confession. Satisfied?
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Are you,
Let's
Mr. Wright?
gather more
I
information.
still would like to cross-examine the witness if it's okay.
And that's why cross-examining exists.
I wouldn't be letting her testify if I wasn't going to let you cross-examine her.
Exactly.
So by all means, begin, Mr. Wright.
See what you
This
got.
really shouldn't worry you, Wright. but the slightest instance of you being wrong about this, I will declare Rainbow Dash's innocence, and Miss Sonata will be taken away for further questioning. What you should be worried about is if you're actually right about there being a hole in this confession.
Understood, Your Honor.
Are you just doing this to rub salt in my wounds?
Yes.
All right.
No.
Time to show
Truth.
Sonata the
Whatever.
power of the truth. What it means to be a defense attorney.
Yes.
What she taught me.
Mia, God is shining upon you. I hope she appears in the next game.
Ace and I have been blackmailing several athletes for some time. I finally had enough of it. I was going to quit as his manager after he had won the Equestrian 500.
Hold it.
He's never won any competition fairly?
Wow.
Yes, he has.
Oh.
We didn't blackmail the stiffs, as he had the ability to beat them.
Okay.
You didn't want to do it anymore.
As it said on my resignation letter, I was enjoying the fortune and fame we got. But then, I realized what we were doing.
Then why did you get Mr. Cruise Control to attack me?
I simply panicked after you scrutinized my room. I knew you started suspecting me, and I did that to get you off my tail. Oh. Is that what this is all about? Very well. Your Honor.
Yes?
I refuse to press any charges against Phoenix Wright and Pinkie Pie for entering my hotel room.
I don't really think that's why he was doing this for
There.
Sonata.
Happy?
No, dude.
No.
Ellipses.
Right? It's my turn for a question.
Huh?
What are you doing? You're jeopardizing your client's innocent murder, when a while ago you were at my neck accusing me. And despite my efforts, you caught me. But now you're saying I'm innocent? I don't understand you.
If all I can say is he's trying to make this all be an accident.
Do you think I'm lying? Why would I lie confessing my guilt? I suppose if I was trying to protect someone, trust me, that's not the case. Because the sad truth is, I don't have anyone to protect.
Oh god, don't hit me there.
Then let me protect you.
Oh man, dude.
I don't understand you. After Rainbow Dash refused our blackmailing attempt, Ace was angered. It didn't help he saw my letter after we were done quelling the fire in which he ripped in half afterward. He became furious and violent. I saw no choice but to retaliate with a burned golf club that was lying on the ground to defend myself. I hit him so hard it snapped.
Okay.
How hard did you strike him with the golf club?
You hit him so hard it snaps.
Hard enough to leave that scar on the back of his neck. The stick was hot from lying in the fire.
And what about the offensive magic you used on him? How strong was that?
I really can't explain that to you.
Magical surges happen.
Well, you aren't educated in magic, but let me try to simplify it for you. What I did was a magic surge.
Twilight?
Twilight.
A magic surge is pretty much magic's equivalent of adrenaline. Put any pony in the right situation, and the magic they produce will be very powerful.
Yep, like
With
a
enough
teleportation
stress,
spell
they can
in
produce magic
the
to
Ticket
rival
Master.
even the princess.
Yeah.
So it's like a mother summoning the strength to lift a ton to save her child.
Therefore, I can't tell you how strong it was, as I had no control over it.
Or getting over your
All
fear
I
of the
know
ocean trying to save your
is it
Game
was
Boy from
enough to
drowning.
hurtle him a few feet.
Did you see exactly where you
I've been
landed?
there.
No, it was too dark. All I could make out were shadows and silhouettes. Even with eyes like mine, I can't really tell you where he landed.
What about the location in which you assaulted him? Do you know where that was?
I do know we were directly under the cloud. The argument began as we were putting out the fire the lightning bolt spawned. From what I gather, he must have landed in the dirt, and Gilda moved him back underneath the cloud shortly after while I was gone.
I see.
I dropped the broken pieces and resorted to offensive magic that was enough to shock him and render him to the ground. I retreated to the dark forest, running as fast as I could. I realized he wasn't chasing me, and returned to the clearing after a good 10 minutes. I saw the silhouette of his body lying there, lifeless. Coming to terms of what I had done, I gathered the broken golf club at all costs so I wouldn't be caught.
Objection! I was right from the beginning.
This all makes sense now.
A second bolt.
Sonata, what you said is impossible.
How is it impossible? Why do you care if it's impossible?
You'll see.
Mr. Wright, I have told you nothing but the truth.
Yes.
And I agree with you, Sonata. You're
We
not
told you
lying.
your truth.
But those unique eyes of yours seem to have failed you this time.
I'm mistaken?
Yes, you are.
Mr. Wright, where are you going with this?
I'm just...
I agree. Explain.
This is actually rather
Sonata
clever
claims
for the
she
guy,
used a
I have
spell
to say.
to electrocute him to protect herself.
Yes, that's true.
But then you said something that struck me as odd, Sonata. You said the golf club's end snapped off when you assaulted him.
And that's that piece you found. What's odd about this?
The piece was still there.
It's odd because the handle and the metal piece were in two different locations. The metal piece under the cloud,
Alright.
and the handle in the dirt.
Makes sense.
This was all a waste of time. It's easy to see what happened here. After she hit him with a golf club, the end ricocheted off his neck into the dirt after it snapped.
Yes, even I can see that's what happened. And that's saying a lot.
No, Your Honor.
Oh,
That's not what
dude's
happened.
calling himself stupid.
Let's recall how Sonata stated how the events took place.
I dropped the broken pieces and resorted to offensive magic that was enough to shock him and render him to
Broken
the
pieces.
Sonata stated she dropped the pieces after she struck him. Sonata, is this true?
ground. Yes, I did. I was still holding onto the pieces after they snapped. I dropped them in place.
But you said another thing, Sonata.
I saw the silhouette of his body lying there, lifeless. Coming to terms of what I had done, I gathered the broken golf club at all costs so I wouldn't be caught.
She only got the stick part of it.
Sonata, why didn't you gather the broken end of the club if you were trying not to get caught?
I couldn't find it. I couldn't even focus an illumination spell with all that had befallen, so I searched around in the dark for a few minutes, but I only found the handle.
And you just searched the area you found the handle in, because you knew you had dropped both pieces in the exact same spot.
Yes.
But then, how did the two pieces end up so far away from each other?
Makes sense now. I get it. He took... He
The
didn't
handle
die
was right
from
in
the
this
strike.
location according to Gilda's testimony, and the imprint it left.
But the end was next to Ace's body under the cloud.
Exactly. We can probably all agree the metal piece was found exactly where Sonata hit Ace with the golf club.
But how would you know something like that? What if it was the end piece that was actually me?
Very simple. The golf club was lost while it was still whole, and it was still whole until Sonata used it as a weapon. The imprint was made afterward, and the end wasn't intact. If she had really dropped it in place there, the end piece should have been right next to it.
Then who moved the handle?
But this doesn't make any sense.
Ace
No
did.
one was at the crime scene between when she hit him and... Unless that Griffin.
Gilda didn't move it. She would sooner admit she moved the body. Up until now, we didn't even know this golf club was used to hit him, and Gilda dismissed it as a piece of garbage.
Rainbow Trash must have gone back and moved it then.
No.
She couldn't have either. Rainbow Dash wouldn't have had enough time to go back and be spotted by Fluttershy anyway. According to her, it's a good 15 minutes to that clearing. But I know who moved it.
This is
The
absurd.
victim himself.
You just ruled out everyone, Mr. Wrong.
Miss Trixie is right. Mr. Wright.
Hey, this is the first time
You
you fumbled
just
on his
disproved everyone.
name change,
Who could have
Judge.
possibly moved it?
I'll tell you who. The answer is
Take that!
the victim himself. Ace moved the golf club.
What?
Not
Hello? What are you thinking?
Hello?
He moved it. He was dead.
Mr. Wright. Have you lost your mind?
Or gained another one?
It's the truth, Your Honor.
I don't know where I was
I
going with that.
believe
And
Sonata
just,
did
that's
perform
all
a
that came
spell
out.
and electrocuted him. But I think it was only enough to render him unconscious for a few minutes.
Yep.
But he was dead when I got back. He wasn't breathing, I'm sure of it.
You're correct, Sonata.
Yeah.
He was dead when you got back.
But in that 10-minute
So he
time...
must have died in
that-
between when you
yeah.
ran away and returned to the crime scene.
This is ridiculous. How did he die if the lightning bolt or being hit with that spell didn't do it?
Hey,
It was the
second lightning bolt.
No, no, no! We've been through this a million times. It didn't strike at all. 3 of
15.
our witnesses didn't hear it because it was a dud bolt.
Make it 4 because I didn't hear it either.
Because Rainbow Dash
I
said,
don't believe it was a dud bolt.
Rainbow Dash said if it hit
From
something
my
small,
understanding, lightning here in
nothing comes out.
makes sound based on vibrations of the impact of what it hit. After he woke up, he must have been fumed after Sonata's assault on him, and quitting as his manager. He probably took to the air to pay Sonata back in spades. Therefore, if we take into account that the bolt struck him in midair, it wouldn't have made a sound.
Did you forget about his suit? From my understanding, a Pegasus is...
what you need to start looking at now is the mouth portion of
The
which,
exposed parts are completely covered while flying.
except
and
his
its
mouth.
pierced his body and left a burn mark on the ground, making a sound in case you want to suggest he wasn't wearing it.
What about the wings? They're clearly exposed. What if the bolt hit one of those?
What about the mouth?
Due to the anatomy of Pegasi wings being so fragile compared to the rest of their body, a lightning bolt would have taken his wing clean off. And yet, both his wings are still intact with no damaging whatsoever.
It's
Cruise
the
Control
mouth,
took
but
a
this
picture
time.
of him wearing the suit as he was entering the forest. He was indeed wearing it from that point till his demise.
I don't understand. There's no way he could have been electrocuted by a stray bolt then.
What happens when you
He's
put
right
metal
wrong.
and
That
electricity
really started yesterday.
into a mouth
You
of a
can't
pony?
say a random bolt hit him in midair, not making a sound, without concrete proof.
Easy,
But this time I have concrete proof.
because you're
Now
awesome.
that I know one other factor of the events. The golf club. Or handle, should I say. Now we know he's the one who could have moved it, right?
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
Angered by being struck and burned by it, he picked it up and took to the air to get a better view of the dark forest. Now where would a Pegasus hold a stick while he's in the air?
Probably
In his mouth.
That's the only place he could hold it while flying, I think.
Unless you
Right,
want to
Ron,
explain the hoof
in
thing.
his mouth.
Mr. Wright,
Makes sense.
who's that?
Your other.
At 8:50, the lightning bolt struck. The metal handle acted as a makeshift lightning rod in his mouth, pumping all that electricity directly into his body. It didn't need any accuracy to hit him, and made no sound since he was hit in midair.
Yes. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
This would seem to explain a few things. Do you have any retort to this possibility, Miss Trixie?
No,
Exactly.
I don't. I can't beat that.
No, you can't.
The prosecution rests.
Oh, this is amazing.
Mr. Wright, I don't know what to say. Never in my life has anyone ever done something like this for me. I can't believe I was so wrong. So very wrong.
You weren't wrong. That note was proof that you wanted to do the right thing in the end.
After,
Not
like,
about that.
hundreds of
I
things you
overlooked
did.
such a minuscule detail and thought I had done it. It's ironic I tried to convince myself I hadn't done it when I really didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
If only I wasn't so afraid of being a murderer, I may not have needed to put you all through this trouble to get the ultimate truth of this event.
Reminds me so much of the
Miss
Edgeworth
Sonata,
case.
though you may not have murdered Ace Swift,
Oh, man.
you face some serious allegations, including tampering with the crime scene and these numerous blackmailing accounts I have been informed of, and you will still be punished accordingly.
It's all right. I have done some terrible things, and though I regret them, I humbly accept my punishment. I also owe you an apology, Trixie.
You serious?
You really did better than I could have done. I think the only pathetic fake here is me. I intend on changing that. I wanted to quit all this extortion. I just wanted to be left in solitude. The guilt I felt was excruciating. But you've given me this second chance, Mr. Wright. You stayed determined and true to what you believed in when everyone, including myself, thought otherwise. From now on, I'll try to give that same prospect to those who need it. For that,
Aw.
thank you, Phoenix.
It's just, it's a...
You're welcome, Sonata.
What a very peculiar turn of events. The
you
victim
can call it a
ended up
turnabout.
being responsible for his own death. There was no murder at all.
Nope.
But perhaps all that karma finally nipped him in the back very hard. It would seem I can give a proper verdict now. In the case of Miss Rainbow Dash, I find the defendants... Objection! Ooh, that really is fun to say. Now I understand why you attorneys enjoy cutting off my verdict. The tension, the suspense, the draw.
Just give it a verdict!
Thank you. That was good.
Okay, you didn't need to
Did not see
shout
that
at
coming.
me.
Not guilty. Yay, the confetti! A confetti in the courtroom. This time it makes sense.
Court is now adjourned.
Oh man.
You did it!
Ah.
No! What are you doing? Let me go!
It was a victory hug! Jeez, you're so uptight!
You not only saved Rainbow Dash, but Sonata as well.
Rainbow Dash, I came as fast as I could.
Scootaloo? What are you doing here?
I tried getting in that detention center, but those armored thugs wouldn't let me through. And you have no idea how much I wanted to come to the trial yesterday, but I was stuck in school. Can you believe it? This was an emergency.
But today's a school day too.
You're right, but then I remembered Apple Bloom got the day off to come down here.
That's because she was testifying as a witness. Don't tell me you just took the day off without any permission.
Yes.
Okay, I won't tell you that.
Nice one,
You're
Scootaloo.
deliberately cutting your classes? What is wrong with this generation?
Well,
The reason I came down
besides the
was
fact
to
that it's the
help.
best generation of My Little
I
Pony ever.
To crack the case of the Cutie Mark Crusader private investigator.
Not another one.
Yes, another one.
You're that lawyer Tate Apple Bloom was talking about, right? Look at all this wicked evidence I found. Here.
A bottle cap?
Awesome.
A peanut?
Obviously.
Pine cone?
Oh.
I'm glad you came down to help, kid, but everything's fine now.
Don't encourage her. She's skipping school.
Oh yeah, that's bad and stuff. And
Don't do drugs.
Shouldn't do that.
Anything to help you, Rainbow Dash.
Great role model. Great role model.
Well, back on the subject of Sonata. Do you have any idea what's going to happen to her?
She's still gonna be punished for tampering with the crime scene and blackmailing all those racers. But that's just a slap on the wrist compared to the punishment of murder.
You know,
Is the same
banishment.
thing going to happen to Gilda?
Pretty much.
Yeah, she moved the body. But like I said, it's only a slap on the wrist. They won't be in there for too long.
Just
Yes,
very
and
long.
Don't mind. It could have been worse. Much worse.
Sonata, weren't you being brought into custody?
I asked if I could speak with you one more time and the guards accommodated my request.
Oh,
What
such
did you
nice
wanna talk to
guards.
me about?
You were right. I have done some despicable things.
Very despicable.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
You don't need to feel bad for me. I owe you an apology. And to you, Rainbow Dash. I not only took part in the blackmail you were a victim of, but tried framing you for murder. I understand if you don't want to forgive me.
After what you put me through? Of course I don't, you no good conniving
Rainbow Dash?
It's okay if she doesn't want to forgive me, Phoenix.
Yes. Makes sense. I wouldn't want to be
Honestly,
hit to the
I'm
moon.
having a hard time doing that as well.
And where have you been?
Another griffin. I hope this one doesn't want to rip me to shreds.
Trust me. That's the least thing
Lenora!
she wants to do. Last
Hello,
thing.
Twilight Sparkler.
Still getting her name wrong, I see.
Good job winning the trial.
Unlike Trixie, she
wasn't
does
me.
it unintentionally.
It was
Equestria. I've seen a few while making deliveries, but the ones I've seen certainly don't look like you.
Oh, Gilda. Look out.
You don't want to tear me to smithereens, do you?
What?
Oh,
Never mind
he
him.
saw her as
Why are
Gilda.
you here?
My fault.
We would have come soon, but we heard that she was called to the stand regarding the blackmailings not too long ago. Frankly, I wanted to see you take her down, Twilight Sparkler. I even brought him with me.
Hey, Cruz.
Isn't he supposed to be in detention?
His lawyer scored him a low bail. We were going to pony up and testify for you and tell what her and Ace were doing, despite what she has against us.
This is the guy who attacked me?
Yeah, do you
I
feel
know
weak
sorry
now?
when I came after you, but I truly am. What I did to you, to everyone, is wrong.
To be fair, she was intending to stop it before Ace's death. In fact, her quitting put her in some serious danger.
Newsflash! She did it again when she got him to attack you. And that was after Ace bit the dust.
Yeah.
Let me make it up to you now. Cruz, your sister's in that hospital, right?
Yes?
After Ace died, all his money went to me.
Ew.
I'm going to donate every last bit of it to medical research regarding your sister's case. I'll see to it that she stays in there until she awakens.
You'll do that?
Twilight, since I'm going to be in solitary confinement for a while, can you manage my money for me and make sure it goes toward that cause? Since you're a former citizen of Canterlot, they shouldn't give you too much trouble when taking the money upon my request.
After watching It's About Time,
Yes, I
they
can
don't
do
give her
that.
a problem whatsoever,
How did you know
even
this
when they
about
know she's sneaking
I've
in.
never met you before.
I just noticed the slightly smug way you carry yourself. A lot of Canterlot citizens adopt that saunter.
Yep.
Wow, it's amazing how you can... Wait, smug?
Ooh.
If you can do that, thank you.
Ah, whatever. I still don't like her for what she did.
Meh. Understandable.
The very least I can do is say I'm sorry. I've learned my lesson.
Well, I guess I can forgive you. Kinda, sorta.
Mm.
Kinda, sorta?
Yeah, it's the best you're gonna get.
know. Kinda and sorta.
How about makes no in sense?
Hey, you must be that newbie. Congratulations on getting an innocent verdict.
Thank you.
Trust me, this newbie's
I've heard
gonna
a lot
wipe
of
you
good
on the
things
floor
about
with
you.
you.
I look forward to going head-to-head with you when the race rolls around.
You'll see I'm no slouch. I promise.
Yeah.
May the Dark Matter
Rainbow Dash
pony
is
know
totally
what
gonna
she's
win the
talking
whole
about.
thing. No contest.
That's good to hear. Well, we best be going now. We're going to squeeze in a few more hours of practice. We wish you all the best of luck. Yeah, even you.
Hey, maybe I'll actually watch the race this year.
That's awesome! Finally, someone showing some patriotism and taking the Equestrian 500 seriously. More power to you, Twilight Sparkler.
Just roll with.
It's Sparkle. Sparkle! Sparkle! Not Sparkler!
No need to explode. You could have just told me in a calmer tone and I would have gotten it.
But...
Can you do us a favor and
My
take this
memory's a
one
bit
to the
shady,
schoolhouse?
but I think she did.
But I wanted to stay here and celebrate with all of you.
Sure. I want to stay far away from Krabby McPurple Pony until she decides to chill out.
Wow.
But I'm not...
We'll see you all later. You can fly, right?
Me? No, I can't yet. But you just watch, pal. One day, I'm gonna be just as awesome of a flyer as Rainbow Dash.
I believe in that.
You look up to her a lot, don't you?
Well, duh. She's like the bestest, fastest, coolest pony ever. We're like birds of a feather.
You know, you remind me a lot of... Oh, never mind. We better get you to school. Tell you what, we'll give you a lift, free of charge.
Goodbye, every pony.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. You didn't have to yell at me. It's not my fault pony names are hard to pronounce.
Really?
How in the hoof is Twilight Sparkle hard to pronounce?
That
It's
went
hard to
over a
work
little
with.
better than I expected. Phoenix, Can you please do one more thing for me?
What's that?
It's about that Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie? What about her?
Tell her.
Oops, sorry, I spoke. I spoke again! And again! And again! And again!
Huh? Are you okay?
It's a cutie mark. It must be your special talent of poking Pony's eyes out with that horn.
I was trying my hardest not to laugh.
Oh,
Will do.
perfect. So that's okay. At first I thought it was an aneurysm for
Nick,
pure stupidity,
seriously.
but
I can't thank you
okay.
enough for what you did for me. I owe you one.
Really? Because I don't think I'm the one you should be thanking.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? What do you mean?
If it wasn't for a certain some
You're someone who
pony,
deserves your
he
gratitude
wouldn't even be
more.
there to begin with.
Oh, right!
Oh wait, no.
Thanks for hiring such a cool lawyer, Twilight.
No,
Well,
Fluttershy.
nice that you're thanking Twilight. But that's not who I had in mind. You got acquitted because of this someone.
I'm on Rainbow.
Judge?
No.
Rainbow.
Scootaloo?
Rainbow!
Ugh, no! Someone who the trial would have ended differently without.
Can you refresh my memory? I forget things easy.
Fan-made Rainbow.
Do I really have to spell this out for you?
The
I'm not
trial
saying-
would have been lost without...
Fluttershy? But she helped Trixie by testifying against me.
She did do that. But don't you remember what she did today?
Like, does she not even try to think about the
You had
good
been
things
given the
people
guilty
do instead of all the bad things?
I had nothing left. Then she got on the stand and made the trial continue despite the verdict. That
Like you weren't even
certainly isn't
there.
an easy feat. I haven't known her for as long as you have.
Like, seriously,
but I
it
could
wasn't for
tell
her.
she was really trying her absolute hardest for you when she got up there. Things would have ended a lot differently if she had not intervened.
Yeah.
And I think that's more than you deserve from her after what you said this morning.
Oh.
Okay.
Here she comes now.
Hello, Every Pony.
You did great in there. It was very, flutter-bold of you.
It was no problem, Mr. Felix.
Your timing could have been a little better, though.
A little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry my timing wasn't good.
Hey, that's what makes all the dramatic
all right.
moments
We
dramatic.
Yes. Congratulations, Rainbow Dash.
Kindness. Pure kindness.
Rainbow Dash, don't you have something to say?
I'm sorry, Fluttershy. Thank you.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, it's not!
Yeesh.
Don't pretend this morning didn't happen! You can't say everything's okay! I treated you like dirt! I said so many awful things to you! I said I hated you! And even then, you still came back and helped me! Why would you do that?
Because she's your
'Cause
friend.
you're my friend, Rainbow Dash. To tell the truth, I was so scared to get back on that stand with all those eyes looking down on me. And after what happened last time, I really didn't want to just make things worse like I did yesterday.
Then why did you do it?
Because I thought to myself, what would she do?
Aww.
She? The strongest and bravest pony that I know.
Applejack.
She would stand her ground and be strong. So, I did my best to be just like her.
I'm sorry.
And got back up on that stand again.
That had to be done.
Because right then, after I heard the guilty verdict, I realized that very same pony needed my help. So I knew I had to try my hardest to be as brave as I could. Because that's what she'd do for me.
I'm so sorry, Fluttershy!
Sorry if I ruined the moment with that whole Applejack thing.
I was a big jerk!
There, it's okay, Rainbow Dash. There's no need Phoenix,
Yes?
can you proofread this for me? I usually get Spike to do it.
Sure. Dear Princess Celestia.
Ah, yes.
I learned something from the most unlikely pony, Trixie. I thought about something she said today, and I think she's right. Friendship is unnecessary, like art, poetry, and music. We don't need it to survive like food and water. Rather, it's one of those things that gives our life, and other lives, value and meaning, giving us a reason to push forward. It allows us to achieve feats of strength and valor we thought we never had in us to protect the ones we care about. And by uniting, even the biggest of problems can be overcome. But then that's where Trixie was wrong. Ironically, that word she mocked ended up saving the day. That's the magic of friendship. It should never be underestimated. And I can see right now that tears will clear the way for a deep and lasting one. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
I'm glad those two got things patched up.
Yeah, me too.
And we got her.
There she goes.
She's coming back.
Is this gonna be a Von Karma moment? Please tell me.
And coming back again.
Please tell me.
Ow!
Yes!
Phoenix, this may be a bit selfish, but can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you please go talk to Trixie?
What do you want me to talk to her?
It's that issue I wanted to bring up with you. She bears awful feeling towards me for some reason. She won't listen to me, but she may speak with you.
You're not the one who just had a hat thrown at you. Besides, I just foiled her revenge scheme. Do you think she really wants to talk to me right now?
Yes.
Let alone see me?
Please, Phoenix. There was another pony in Equestria who was consumed by feelings similar to hers, and the result wasn't pretty.
Okay, I'll try. But I'm out of there if she starts tossing more stuff at me.
Thank you, Phoenix.
Thinking about who that was.
Before I try, what does this have to do with the Megatama?
Just ask her, what do you have against Twilight Sparkle and her friends, and you'll see for yourself. She'll probably respond with the Ursa Minor, but I know that's not the case.
Alright, wish me luck.
I'm gonna need a lot of it.
Seriously, who could that be?
She's blue and wearing a purple cape.
Oh, God.
Have you seen her anywhere?
Did any pony ever tell you you have nice, beautiful hands?
Anthropology!
Thanks anyway. I'll just be going now.
Go off in the opposite.
Hey! Watch it, pal!
I'm sorry.
You's best be sorry. You's lucky I'm in a good mood today.
Oh.
Otherwise I would've beat you so hard and make you feel like you're smooching the express.
Trials and Tribulations is like...
It won't happen again.
This reminds me of,
It better not. Now out of my way.
like, as soon as I heard the accent of when...
Her problem.
I heard the accent.
Wait. That couldn't have been...
Oh, so she's like the reincarnation or something of that?
You ruined everything.
I, wanted to give back your hat. You dropped it. Or, whipped it at my face.
Well, at least it wasn't an actual whip.
Rotten thief, that's mine.
This isn't going so well.
Ah, I'd say it's going rather perfectly.
Why did you come out here? Come to chastise me? Put me in my place?
No, of course not. I just wanted to talk to you, that's all.
Well, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not in the mood.
You can really tell she's angry.
Take this however you want. But you did a good job in there. You did a really good job. I thought you had me several times the past 2 days.
Don't patronize me. I lost.
And she fought valiantly.
It's not about winning or losing when you're an attorney. It's about the truth. And I think you realize that too. I remember you siding with me when Gilda was giving her false testimonies. And that move you made against Sonata regarding that teleportation had no benefits for you as a prosecutor.
I don't care about any stupid truth. Do you remember how that Griffin felt bad about revenge? It certainly didn't for me. As soon as I heard that guilty verdict, I felt like I was on top of the world. I suppose that makes me bad. But whatever. It's not like it even matters anymore.
But what I'm trying to say is, it's up to the defense and the prosecution to push each other to their limits. And you certainly delivered. It could have done without the insults, but you did well keeping me in check.
That isn't a hard thing to do, since you are such a blithering moron.
I really can't get through to her.
I'm quitting this whole prosecutor thing anyway. It was just another occupation my parents put me in while growing up in Canterlot.
Really?
I never even cared about it up until this point.
I know it's
The
fan
only
made,
thing
so I'm just
driving
saying
me
really to
excel
that
at it was
motion.
to get some redemption. But it's not like I have much to go back to. My other routine is in just as bad shape.
Why's that?
Why do you think?
She
That
already said.
lavender loser ruined it all. My stage is busted up and falling apart, and I don't have the money to fix it. Wherever I go, my shows bomb. I've made it regular practice to dodge tomatoes.
Maybe it's just because you're so ostentatious.
Oh man, you shouldn't have told her that.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
I think narcissistic would
It's
be a
not
better word,
fair.
but why not?
It's like a cruel joke. Life gives you something you think you're gifted at, and then some little goody four horseshoes know-it-all comes along and ruins all the success in a heartbeat.
That happens all the
I hate
time?
her so much. Why does she have to be more talented than me in every little aspect?
That's why I suggested,
Why
like,
is
in
it
the
when
beginning.
I try to entertain with magic, I get an angry mob, but when she does the simplest, stupidest magic trick at her own leisure, she gets...
Yeah.
Ugh. Why am I telling you this? I don't want to talk to you. Buzz off.
You know, when I was a kid, I was really into magic. I wanted to be a magician myself. I wanted one of those fancy silk hats. But my parents never got me one. They were too expensive.
What's this have to do with anything?
I don't know, I just wanted to try to talk to you on some sort of common ground. I thought it was traditional for a magician to wear a silk hat.
Do you honestly think I care about your pathetic life? Sorry, but I'm a little busy dealing with mine. So for the last time, leave me alone.
I know I'm probably gonna regret this.
You know, I'm curious. I've seen Trixie the prosecutor, but I haven't seen the great and powerful Trixie the magician. Can I see your magic show, Trixie?
It's like, one way to Twilight's heart is the books, one
That's
way
a
to
good
Trixie's
one. Why would
is
I want
just
you to see
her.
my show?
You owe me a voucher.
Ew.
What?
Yesterday, you said you'd give me a voucher for one of your performances after I accused Fluttershy.
That is true.
Twilight doesn't seem to be sending me back home anytime soon, so I'll watch your show in the meantime.
I still have some questions for Princess Celestia.
I was being sarcastic, you moron.
Fine,
I don't
won't
care.
watch it then.
No, please.
Got her.
I mean, I'm just not used to getting requests to perform. That's all.
It's not like I like you or anything.
If you really want to, that is.
Okay, I'd love to.
And don't get me wrong, Mr. Dead Wrong. I still hate you with an unbelievable passion. But if you want to see it, I can't deny my fans a performance, no matter who they may be. You don't need a voucher anyway. It's free, always has been. So a greedy, cheapskate, money-grubbing lawyer such as yourself doesn't need to worry about that.
At least she doesn't charge money.
Why do you do it for free? Don't most magicians and performers charge entry fees to their shows? And couldn't you fix that stage of yours if you charged admission?
You know, that was destroyed by a
Because
giant
it's none
bear.
of your business. That's why.
I was only asking.
Hey,
Hello, Pinkie Pie.
Hi, Pinky.
I'm on my way to Rainbow Dash's trial.
Pinkie,
You're a little late
you
for
missed
that.
it again.
Not again. Is Rainbow Dash okay again?
I think Pinkie Pie would find a way to be late for her own funeral.
Yeah, everything's fine now. She's off the hook.
Stellar work, Feeny, my boy.
My boy, I'm clearly older than you.
You know what this calls for?
What?
A party.
2 words. A party!
A party?
21 words. Yeah, a party. You should come celebrate too because I love having parties with all my friends after something good happens.
Wow.
After something good happens. How did you... yeah.
Oh, he
It
count.
would seem this would be the occasion to throw one.
What about you? Do you want to come?
Huh? Me?
Yeah, you!
You want to invite me to a party?
Like they say, the more the merrier. And you're all grumpy all the time, so I figured a party would turn that frown upside down.
Oh.
Maybe you could put on your show there. You'll have a larger crowd that way.
Mm-hmm. Aw.
As if. Why would the great and powerful Trixie want to go to some juvenile party with Mr. Wrong and a sad bunch of loser ponies? But Trixie lost the trial, didn't she? She deserves a punishment. And that will be to endure your childish party.
Wow.
That Trixie doesn't want to go to. At all. Trixie will show Twilight Snargle, Rainbow Trash, Haggerty, and Applejunk feats of magic the likes of which they've never seen.
What about Fluttershy?
You shouldn't make fun of others' names.
Or did she say it and I just missed
not?
Because they might be like mine and be... copyrighted.
That wasn't funny.
It was clever.
Are? Those insult names are some of the worst things I've ever heard. And I don't mean they're offensive. Excuse me for trying to lighten up the mood.
You're saying Trixie isn't funny? Trixie will show you, Mr. Wrong.
Try me.
Get ready. Trixie is about to display the funniest joke in her arsenal.
Oh man, I'm already laughing.
Be warned, many have been known to die of laughter from this one.
I guess I won't be able to post this then.
Here goes. Why do they call me the great and powerful Trixie? Because I'm always playing tricks.
See, you're no better at...
That's
What?
a good one.
It's funny because she does play Trixie. Her name is
What did
Trixie.
tell you?
It's like the same.
Trixie's only rivaled by that of her show-stopping magical powers.
Oh,
Your
Phoenix,
jokes
you suck.
are about as funny as a root canal.
But it's basically the exact same kind of punchline as mine.
Yeah, but yours is not as funny.
I'll go tell the rest about the party.
Hey, did he hurt you bad?
Huh?
That buffoon that attacked you in the forest.
Oh, no. It's just a small bump. Nothing serious.
She cares.
Good. Trixie was going to send in a search in to find you after we booked him. But Snarkle ended up finding you first.
I didn't know you cared.
I don't, but I don't want you dead either. Despite what that nerd and her fan club may have told you, I'm not a monster.
Except you just want to get Rainbow Dash into the moon or sun.
What
Whatever.
are you looking at me like that for?
What's that you're holding?
Pine cone.
Oh, it's just a pine cone. Some kid dumped it on me as evidence. Cute, huh?
Yeah. Cute.
What's up?
Can I... Forget it. Take Trixie to this stupid party, Wrong.
I'm guessing this is another fan-made thing I
right.
probably missed or something.
Oh, wait! A Magatama.
Eh?
One more thing, Trixie.
What?
I wanted to ask you something.
What, you're not even going to show it? Oh, they're not even going to show it.
How did you manage to get her to come here?
Well, Pinkie Pie did, not me.
Still, her show was a bit more tolerable than it was last time.
It
Maybe.
may be because
Maybe.
I'm still new here, but I thought the magic she did was amazing.
I'm not talking about the magic. I mean the name-calling and boasting. She was a little more tolerable than the last time she was in Ponyville. I think she may be on the road to a better lifestyle.
What are you talking about, Twilight? That conceited, ill-mannered, unsavory degenerate called me Haggett! I'm not a hag!
Whoa.
And did you hear what she said to me? She told me to lend myself out as a rodeo clown. Better lifestyle my hoof.
Baby steps, girls. Baby steps.
Baby steps. You can't just immediately have someone jump
did
to
you ask
another
Trixie the question
personality.
Yeah, I did.
Yet? So you saw them.
I didn't see anything. I asked the question you told me to ask her, but nothing happened.
Nothing?
Well, something happened.
What's with the pause? You want a cookie or something, you spiky-headed twit? It's that dumb star-spangled fleabag bear, and it always has been. That purple pest put you up to this, didn't she? Tell Dorklight and her dumb bangs to stop pestering Trixie with that question when she knows the answer to it.
Never mind. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
I
Wow.
could've sworn.
Hello.
Ah, Celestia.
This is the first
Your main has batteries again.
needs to be on eye level.
Princess!
Princess?
Phoenix, bow!
No.
It's all right, Twilight. There's no need for him to bow.
Jeez.
This is her. I want an explanation now.
Played all your games, man.
Hey!
Even the ones that weren't even invented when this made out.
Yes?
When this came out.
Twilight told me you told her to bring me here because you knew me. Then you told her to deceive me.
Oh, she did now.
You failed me, Twilight.
I'm sorry, but I had to tell him.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to do it anyways.
I understand. I really appreciate what you have done for my subjects, Phoenix. It's really an honor meeting you.
But Princess, you said you knew him.
From his video games.
I've never seen you in my life. And you couldn't have watched any of my trials. You're not exactly inconspicuous.
She could be
What
the
I'm
son.
doing, though, is to deliver your payment.
I don't know.
I'd rather deliver it personally, as something seems to be wrong with the mail in Ponyville. I sent out a letter a few days ago, and only yesterday did the recipient get it. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I wonder.
It is a mystery.
Wait, you're paying me?
Of course. You didn't expect to be rewarded for your efforts?
You are a lawyer, after all.
It's just I'm not used to being paid real money for my work. Most of my clients pay me with an IOU.
Tell me about it.
Well, here is a symbol of mine and every pony's gratitude. I thank you again. I don't think a defense attorney in Equestria would have been able to do what you did. You see, Equestria has been in quite the peaceful state for centuries outside of a few minor crimes, and it turns out it is still as you
And some
believe,
Dark
crime is
Lords,
nothing more than
aka your sister, and a Draconequist
Then
that
what's with the
can
royal
destroy anything with his mind.
If it's so peaceful and all.
Even though it's peaceful, there are still entities who try to disrupt the peace.
Like I said.
That's what the guards are for. But most of the time, these guards are around for ceremonial reasons.
And just look cool.
In fact, these past few days are probably going to be the most excitement they will have for a long time.
I see.
I like how they just immediately
right.
just...
Phoenix,
Yeah?
please give Maya, Pearl, and Edgeworth my regards. It's a shame I couldn't meet them as well.
What?
But how...
Goodbye, Phoenix. Or, you prefer Nick, don't you?
How do you know all this about me?
Explain, Celestia! Explain!
Ah!
5!
Well, I must be off now.
Oh my god.
Twilight, did you see that?
See what?
There were psyche locks all over your princess.
How could you forget your own...
Must have
Never
worn
mind.
off then.
Worn off?
The magic.
The most likely reason I was affected by that thing's power was me mixing otherworldly magic with my own magic. It was because I picked it up using levitation. I looked up on how to cure it, and it said it would eventually wear off in a day or two. It's a shame. I really wanted to use it on some other subjects.
Twilight.
Use it on other subjects.
Subjects?
As
a project?
It's good that it wore off. It was starting to freak me out seeing all those locks all over the place.
Yeah. It's good that it wore off, not just for you, but for everyone else.
To your princess?
I don't know.
Because she
I
is...
still want to know how she knew all that stuff about me.
Me too.
You shouldn't worry about it. She must have had a good reason for not telling you.
Well, if you say...
Whoa! Nix, you're rich!
Huh?
The princess gave you a huge haul! There has to be at least 50,000, no, 70,000 in here!
Really?
70,000?!
Congratulations, Phoenix. You really earned it.
You flatter me. I don't think I deserve all this money. But I'll gladly accept it. Sports car, here I come, baby!
Ah, Phoenix.
What are these?
Why, they're bits, darling.
Bits?
It's our currency.
Would there be any way I could get this converted to USD?
USD?
Yes, US dollars.
Bits are the universal currency used all across Equestria.
No! All this might as well be play money!
Look, he's so happy, he's crying! What's the matter?
I can't use this money in my world.
It means nothing.
Well, that's too bad.
You
know,
for all the things Celestia has planned for, I don't know how she couldn't plan to give him actual money.
Oh, you should totally give it to your faithful client who never doubted you for a second.
Every lawyer must suck horse apples if you're supposed to be the best one.
Oh, did I say that? It was just a joke.
Right.
Yeah, like that hilarious joke you told me yesterday. You're always right because your name is Wright, but you mean right as in being correct. And,
Rainbow Dash, if you were the one...
Sure, Mr. Wright, will give that generous sum of riches to somebody who generously fixed his suit.
Really subtle, Rarity.
Rarity, come on. You're the richest person in the
I
group.
didn't knock you upside the head. Well, can't blame a gal for trying.
Actually, I've decided who I want to give it to.
Oh yeah, baby!
Ah, shut up. It's not you.
Hey, Trixie.
That's what I
What do you
expected.
want?
I want you to have it.
You're giving that money to me?
The little...
What?
Yes.
Don't tell me you're serious. Why are you giving it to her?
Because she
How the
kind of
thing going
needs
this
it.
one? She hasn't done one good thing to deserve that money.
Except all the good things that she did.
Maybe so.
She called me Agate. That's the only reason.
Walking out of this experience empty-handed. Hooved.
That doesn't mean you should give it to her. Look at all she's done. She almost got Rainbow Dash banished.
But she's not, is she?
Yeah.
I remember a moment today Sonata backed me into a corner regarding teleporting, until Trixie interjected. I'm a strong believer everything isn't in black and white. Especially after this case. Sometimes good people make mistakes, and do things they may come to deeply regret later.
Yeah, you just got through that.
People we perceived as bad, like Sonata, may not be as bad as we thought they were, once we get their side of the story. Whether Trixie did that to help me or not, it really did help us see the victory we got in the end. And I really do think that there's some good in her after she did something like that. It's probably just hard for her to show it when she feels the world's against her for a mistake she made.
Yeah.
You said you needed money to fix your stage, right? And this should be more than enough.
We forgive you, Trixie.
Aww.
I know life has been really tough on you. Take the money as a symbol of our friendship. Even if you've made some mistakes in the past, we'll be there for you if you're ever in trouble.
Well, I sure as heck won't.
Rainbow!
Phoenix, Twilight, I think you're the biggest loser, idiot, moron, dummy, numbskulls in the world! Honestly, did you think the great and powerful Trixie would be touched by your namby-pamby sentiments? Thank you all so much. It feels good
Derpy
to have
Trixie.
friends.
Trixie.
All said while Trixie sheds a single tear. Is that what you were expecting, huh?
Sorta.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was hoping for.
Keep dreaming, Snarkle. You're in need of a return ticket flight to reality from that sugar-coated world you live in.
Wow.
Ooh, I like sugar. I couldn't imagine if the world was coated in it. Would it taste delicious? Actually, I don't know if that's a good idea. I have to try really hard to keep myself from eating Sugar Cube Corner because it looks like it's made of candy and treats and stuff, but it's really not. Trust me, I tried. Turns out it's just gross metal and concrete and wood and...
Pinky!
Sorry.
Trixie will take this money you so foolishly donated to her.
See? What did we tell you? She never learns.
Baby steps.
Simmer down, Rainbow Trash. Trixie is counting her bits.
Call me Rainbow Trash one more time. I dare you. We're not in court anymore. Nothing is stopping me from turning you red, black, and blue.
Trust me.
Actually, you don't
You
have to
just
look
go
like
back.
red, Rainbow Dash. She's already blue.
I say she's a
You
slight
look like the name
cerulean.
Trixie has graciously bestowed upon you.
Or
How about
chartreuse.
Rainbow Dash? That really was a
Is that a
good
blue?
one. Hey, let's
I don't
merge
know.
the two.
The ceruleans have
Rainbow
been my
Trash.
favorite color for a
It's
while.
Perfect, just like Trixie.
Okay, that's it.
Can't see her.
Just calm down, Rainbow. I suppose it's just her way of saying thank you.
Everyone has a different way of saying thank you.
Obnoxious, stuck-up way of saying
I, for one,
it if
punched
you
them in the
ask
face.
me. Whatever.
Joking.
I still can't believe you gave all that to her. What a waste.
I'm sure deep down in her heart she really is thankful. Even if she doesn't show it.
At all.
I was really hoping she'd show some sliver of gratitude after that. Guess you can't win them all.
Hey! Let's take a picture to commemorate. Who has a camera?
I do. But I used the last of the film during the investigation.
None of you have one?
I have one, but it's all the way back at home.
Oh.
I can go get it if you want.
No time.
I'm sure we can wait.
You can just use the one the investigation team gave Trixie.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Aw.
I just take the super camera.
Okay.
Alright, every pony. Say cheese!
Say cheese. How old are you, Snarkle? 4?
5.
Oh, well,
It is a little cliche. I have to agree. Saying cheese is a little, well...
Cheesy.
Yeah, Twilight. You did sound kind of lame.
Oh, hi, Spike.
alright, I get it. Sheesh. What do you suggest we say then? And Spike, when did you get here?
I was here the whole... I know
Ah.
exactly what we should say. It came to mind when I was sewing up Mr. Wright's suit yesterday.
Oh, that.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh.
I've been totally dying to say this for a while now.
And again, it's not an actual Phoenix Wright game unless you do this at the end.
The great
Awesome.
and powerful Trixie doesn't see anything special about
Well, it's because you've been saying
but
it all the
we
time.
must.
So if I follow y'all correctly, we're gonna yell congestion, right?
No, AJ. It's...
Close.
Oh, okay. Gotcha, Twi.
This is going to be so fun. I like saying funny words.
Let's do this all together. Let's do this all together.
3, 2, 1.
Objection! Awesome. Awesome. Turnabout Storm. Now, since I am an avid Phoenix Wright fan, they also should be doing this. Okay.
Oh, you're leaving? You're not the only one going. The zoo is taking back all of their animals tomorrow. I'm really going to miss them. I remember you said you liked animals too. How about you come back sometime and I'll introduce you to mine? I'm sure they'd love to meet you. I mean, if you're not busy or anything like that. I can't believe it's over already. Hey, maybe there's a sequel in the works. Justice for every pony. No, my little investigators. Oh, I got it. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, The Revenge of Wagner.
Yeah.
It's going to be super
never hung a mango
Okay,
fight.
one out of those three is correct. And I'm planning on playing it later on, so hey! Fourth wall breaking for the win!
It smells absolutely putrid. I wasted all my money on All Day Outhouse. I'm marching down to that post office and clamoring for a refund. On the other hand, I ought to learn to do more research next time before making such a big purchase like that.
Hey, Derby!
Can I keep the perfume? If you don't want it and all, I think it smells nice. How could you possibly think this vile smells? Fine. If it makes you happy, keep it.
Yay! Yay!
Come to see me one last time? I do appreciate it. It does get quite lonely in here. I'm well aware I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I want to make up for what I've done by helping others, and I have you to thank for bringing this change in me for the better. You know, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. I didn't want to say anything before because I thought I was just going crazy.
What's up?
During the final chapter of the trial, that last moment we had solved everything.
The Mia thing.
I could have sworn I saw someone next to you. But the strange thing is, it looked like...
You?
Get out of my way, sister! My turn! You've got some nerve showing up here! You're just lucky this fiberglass window is separating us, otherwise I'd bring your scrawny, swarmy little neck out!
No whacking. All the way.
The race was called off because of what happened.
Oh, are you serious?
But guess what? The three of us are gonna hold an unofficial one.
Okay.
It's not fair that you lost your opportunity to go against the big leagues because of all this. And no more holding back this time, right, Cruz?
No, not anymore. That heavy burden is long gone now. By the way, I thank you for not pressing any charges against me. After what I did to you.
That's alright.
I feel absolutely awful about it.
It's not your fault. All three of us were victims of the same thing.
Yeah. Besides, I'm sure he forgives you. He's really nice like that. He plays with baby toys in public and everything.
Thank you. Please, tell Twilight I wanted to thank her for knocking some sense into me as well.
Let's stop this moping and get this show on the road. Ready?
Set?
Go!
Rainbow Dash won in the end.
Guess you really showed me. He got Rainbow off the hook and everything. But one thing, can you tell old Beardy to, what are the words I'm looking for here?
What my sister Applejack here is trying to say is, this judge character is prancing about, shoving his love for Equestria in every pony's faces, and that's a tad overbearing for every pony around him. It's okay for you to take pride in what you enjoy, but you shouldn't shove it down every pony's throat. I'm sure you wouldn't like it if we constantly tried to feed you apples, despite the fact you may not like them and prefer oranges. We should try to stay respectful to the fact you may not like apples. Every pony and everyone is different, and that's what makes the world so great, sharing opinions and learning more about each other's differences. There really isn't a clear-cut definition of normality, since every individual is so diverse when you think about it that way.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Thanks, big brother.
Well, it's hilarious. Oh, it's hilarious.
I'm still grounded. Consider yourself lucky. I got grounded and I have to do lousy community service for skipping school. I mean, what gives? I provided crucial evidence. They should be throwing a parade in my honor.
That pine cone seems to know more,
I
so...
provide crucial evidence while helping Twilight. All you found was a bunch of useless junk.
The pine cone, no.
Well, if I'd had a whole day off school like some pony, I would have found evidence 10 times better than said some pony.
Stop it, girls.
Hey, Cheerly.
I believe you have something to do right now. Scootaloo.
But mowing old Pony Jenkins' lawn is so boring.
Oh, Pony Jenkins.
I guess you should have thought of that before you decided to skip school. Haha. And Apple Bloom, Since you missed a whole day of school the other day, I think it's only fair you help her out with her community service to make up for it.
What? Do I have to help them, Miss Cheerilee?
No, Sweetie Belle. You are the good one out of the group.
You don't. In fact, it sure is a scorcher today, isn't it? We're staying out of trouble. How about we go to Sugar Cube Corner for a bowl of ice cream today? My treat.
Cheerilee, best teacher, always and forever. Jane Doe. Huh. Oh, cool. Trixie.
Trixie was actually looking for you before you had left.
Aw, that's so
Trixie
sweet.
Trixie is leaving too. Oh no, not to say goodbye or anything. You take all this stupid evidence. Trixie doesn't want it. Keep it all as a souvenir for all Trixie cares. Trixie is leaving Ponyville as well and wishes to purge her mind of this backwater hick town. Nothing but bad memories here. So start by taking out this trash, garbage boy.
Oh. Oh, look out. You are great, Kiss of Judas. You're great.
Oh, I see. So, you're leaving already? I'm going to stay here a bit longer. I was on vacation anyway. Nobody should miss me. I want to watch this summer sun celebration I've been hearing about. Oh, and please, may I ask you to keep all that has transpired here secret? You know, just between you and me. I won't tell any anybody if you don't.
Yeah. I think it's best. And I think Big Mac already said you can't stay here, so,
Thank you for everything, Phoenix. But I guess it's time to say goodbye now. I wish you could stay a bit longer, so we could get to know each other outside of investigating and trials. I've learned a lot, though. Anyone who ends up with you as a lawyer is really lucky.
Extremely.
Anyone who ends up with you as a friend is really lucky. Let's keep it that way. Even if you're away from us, the others and I won't forget you. And I hope you won't forget you have friends over here either. We'll always be friends in each other's hearts, and that is the most wonderful thing about friendship. It's everlasting, and you're never truly alone. And even if we're a world apart, I think it can transcend.
Twilight, stop with the sappy stuff. I think he gets it.
I'm just trying to make a meaningful goodbye, Spike.
And it was working until you had to butt in.
Already.
I guess you're right. Well, I guess this is it. Maybe we could see each other again someday. I'd like that.
I'd love that.
Phoenix Wright.
I love a sequel to this. You know, if Milo Investigations isn't the actual sequel I'm looking for, since I haven't played it yet. Hopefully that's it. Alright. Well, that was Phoenix Wright. Turnabout. Okay, no, S'more.
What an ordeal.
Nick!
Hey, Maya!
Don't hate Maya me. Where were you? You weren't seeing other
Burrows.
women, were you?
Early.
No, I wasn't seeing other women. Wait, why would that even matter? I'm single.
Because your heart belongs to Mystic Maya.
Hell
She's a
yes.
special somebody.
Special somebody.
Pearl?
Yes, right.
Edgeworth, you're here too.
Edgeworth? What are you doing here?
Oh, no, you don't. Don't try to change the subject. You've been missing for almost 2 days. You wouldn't answer your phone or anything.
If you must know, this girl pestered me to the brink to help search for you.
Ah, perfect, Edgeworth.
He caved in once I told him you might be in trouble.
Aw, were you worried about me, Edgeworth?
Ah, let the fan fictions run wild.
I didn't. This girl was simply dragging me around town against my will, trying to find you. Nothing more.
Nothing more.
Where were you?
It's not like I care about you or anything.
By the way, your slogan for the office.
It attracted a lot of business, didn't it?
No, just telemarketers.
That's because you probably said it like an old man. You need to put some oomph into it.
That's
like
what I
this.
mean.
Wright and Company office. Defending you like it's nothing, baby.
Yep.
Old man? I'm still in my 20s.
Apparently.
This is why I work alone.
You're changing the subject again. Fess up. Where have you been the last... Huh? What's that in your pocket?
Huh?
Yoink!
Oh, the oh.
Hey,
Dude.
wait, no, don't open that!
Aha! This must be evidence as to where you really were.
This better not be money from your sugar mama, Mr. Nick.
No,
Sugar
Maya,
mama.
you don't understand. Just please don't open that.
You're busted, Nick. Let's see what you've really been up to.
Right.
So, who wants to watch a movie or something? I'll make the popcorn.
Mr. Nick, you're never gonna win Mystic Maya's heart, let alone any woman carrying pictures like these.
Is that rainbow horse doing what I think it is?
Actually, Maya, she's not a horse. She's a pony.
Do you have any shame?
They aren't mine!
I think I'd rather have a bee from a sugar mama.
Are you serious?
Nick, do you want to talk about this? It's alright. Everyone has skeletons in their closet.
This seems less like a skeleton, and more so a disturbing fetish.
If anyone needs me, I'll be in the bathtub with a toaster.
It's perfect. Oh man, I'm missing. No, I'll look back at those. Those are
all the
amazing.
evidence I found there. My reward for this whole headache is money I couldn't use, and those three thinking I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with all this junk?
Give it to a small child?
Huh?
What's that?
What's this? I don't remember finding this during the investigation.
Neither do I. Jeez.
Where did this come from?
Oh, it's the silk hat that she... That...
There's something inside of it. You know, maybe I did get something out of this after all.
Awesome, awesome memories? Oh. Well, that was Phoenix Wright, Turnabout Storm. The MLP crossover. The hat, for those probably won't know, the hat is pretty much the exact same hat that Phoenix Wright's adopted daughter gets because she's a magician. And that's why I kind of liked how Trixie and Phoenix had that little conversation about magicians and whatnot, because it really ties in with that. And that's amazing. This series was by far the greatest fan-made thing I have ever seen. Not just because it was long. Not just because it had my favorite characters and now what are my two favorite franchises, My Little Pony and Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. But all because it kept to the style of the Phoenix Wright games, the emotion it can bring, the development between characters, the chemistry and everything fitting together, and all the greatness of it racking inside your head. It was just perfect. And I really understand the struggle of all the people who had to wait for each part to come out, because I would have been tearing my head off if I had to wait a second longer to continue on with the series after 4 of 4. Oh. Awesome. 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 Oh, man. Oh. I was told to wait a little bit longer, though. I guess this is it.
You're still here. It was just like you said. He accepted and won. I'm really sorry for bringing you here out of nowhere. It's not like me to misinterpret a spell like that. Perhaps I let the worry get to me. I really wanted to help Twilight. I'm glad then. I would have had you do it, but under the circumstances, I don't think you would have been able to. He might not have been the greatest defense attorney, but he still did magnificently defending one of my subjects. I respected your wishes and didn't say a word. I did have a little fun with him before I left, though. You don't mind, right? That's good. I have wondered, though. I've been avoiding this question since I met you. Can you tell me what it is like? It's boring? Oh, that was a joke. It looks like Equestria? I guess I shouldn't envy you then. Maybe, just maybe, it's a little closer than I thought. Well, I think you should be going now. He already left a while ago. I humbly thank you for helping us. I even think my student learned a few things as well. Oh, that's right. You've told me all about him and all the wonderful things he's done. I've been so wrapped up in duties and other tasks, you haven't told me your name yet. May I ask what it is? My name? My name is...
What words can I say to just... What words? Just tell me, what words can I say in order for me to explain just how great this is? The amount of time put into it, the voice acting was great. The fact that it just caught the spirit of not only the games but the show itself. How it just, wow. I was told that I'm one of like one of the first people, if not just like one of those select many who have watched this series and also knows Phoenix Wright, let alone just My Little Pony. And I appear to be the opposite, because people watch more My Little Pony than they did Phoenix Wright. But I can guarantee that after watching this series, it brought those Brony fans and others who may have watched it to actually play Phoenix Wright. Because that's just how good the games are when it comes to this amount of light. And this is just how good the show is with this. That's how great this fan-made thing is, because it brings the light of both the series, puts them together, and it just ties in. I'm still, at this moment, in Season 2 of My Little Pony. And in Phoenix Wright, I played all the games. Apollo Justice, Edgeworth's games. And I'm still waiting for the new one to come out when we're basing it off in the past. And yet, when I watch this, feels like I learned a lot more in both the generation, both those genres, into one. I'm not a spokesperson, let alone I can't write a good speech to save my life, but I can only say this for the entire series. The guy who made this series, the guy who made this, all the voice actors, all the writers, if they had more than one, all the other people, great people that animated, did the drawings, did all this. You guys are truly phenomenal. And I hope to see more out of a work ethic, or you going to other projects. And perhaps even if you're willing, make a sequel. Maybe involving like Edgeworth's journey throughout this entirety in the world. Bring in Apollo maybe. And having them be like a future thing. Just fantastic. Not a second of me watching this series has I think that any of the seconds were wasted. The entirety of this was just, this is the must watch for any Phoenix Wright / My Little Pony fan. So if you need me, it is now like 3 o'clock in the morning. I need to wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna get out of this hot suit, and I'm gonna just reminisce out of all the greatness I've just seen. Also, there's a few things I need to say. Once I get to camp, there's nothing I can do when it comes to like power and junk, so I won't have any like thing. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but since that's the case and y'all won't have me for an entire week, I'm gonna make sure I get through season 2 of My Little Pony before I leave, and do a whole bunch of other fan-made works, and all that. So, hope you enjoy this as much as I have, and I'll see you again next time, guys. Bye.